What is going on, Duckers? And thanks for tuning in and kind of waiting up for me as we started this stream. Just a bit late, but honestly, we're trying to figure everything out. Obviously, the camera is in a slightly different angle that you probably won't notice, but I'm having the biggest issue with trying to figure out how to get the camera set up, framing me correctly, and being on live stream. And also, I need to get a stand for this thing, because as you can see, everything's shaking if I just touch this computer even slightly. Everybody's talking about Charlie Brown, good grief, get good. A good GG is just good game. It's after you play like StarCraft or something, right? So yeah, we got people from Salty Army. Good to see you guys here. Baby Sunshine, what's up? Oh yeah, what's up, Ariel and McLeod's family and Sith over on Twitch. It's good to see I'm getting viewed over there, but mainly over on YouTube. But oh, you're subscribed on Twitch. Appreciate that. I'm still trying to figure out the cadence of it. Like, honestly, I feel like we were doing like 2 to 3 live streams a week, and then all of a sudden just the growth on Decaf Decoy just kind of imploded on itself. I don't know exactly how many live streams. There's too many live streams, but we're figuring out. So possibly thinking about, and let me know what you guys think, is if I should start doing live streams on the regular Decoy channel as well, and possibly doing like a different type of content on there. I mean, we'll figure that out. What's up over, yeah, on Rumble Kick? I see I got a couple people watching over there, so looks like it's pretty good. Actually, I need to fix my my Twitch stream, no, X stream, because that is always messed up. Like, you have to like manually post it or something. I forget. There it is. Yeah, I think now over on, yeah, Twitch, you can see me live over, not Twitch, Twitter, you can see me live now. Yeah, I think, well, so on all the other platforms and on multi-streaming, it'll be the same. It'll be the same when you watch me on Kick or Twitch or whatever, even on X. What's up, Uganda hater? But if you were to watch me on YouTube, maybe one day a week it's at Decaf Decoy, another week it's on Decoy, the Decoy voice or Decoy channel. Yeah, waves happen, don't stress. I understand that, but honestly, I'm still trying to figure out what the cadence is, because I know that that Asmongold straight up just uploads, I don't know, 3-4 times a day, and also has his live streams not on the platform. So I didn't know if maybe that was stepping on the growth of that channel, because like, I mean, we're not gonna get into the videos quite yet, the topics quite yet, but if you look at over on my YouTube, it's 85,000 subscribers, pretty close to 100K, which will be pretty cool just to get that over the hump. And I think that's when the account might get a partner manager, where I'm a little bit less concerned with all the strike, not the strikes, I haven't gotten a strike at all, but just the them unfairly coming at that account with like weird stuff. So they figure that out. I also can't get, yeah, long videos are hard when 3 of you are live. That makes sense. That makes sense. But getting the chat up there. I always watch his channel at least because Decoy keeps it real. Yeah, we're just trying to chilling over here. Like, I mean, it is what it is. You started with Monday at 5 p.m. Is it 5 p.m. over with where you're watching me at? Maybe. Let's see. Yeah, it sucks you got your new video taken down. I just remember when I was streaming on both Decoy Voice and Decaf Decoy, the auto filter, since this channel was brand new, struck down this video, like this live stream. I remember you guys even saw that. This one got nuked, and all of a sudden a whole bunch of my videos got what I feel like was unfairly targeted, but I think it's because it's like an up-and-coming channel, so they probably rely more on AI moderation as opposed to you got a person looking at you. Yeah, you love the videos. You love the videos. Yeah, the regular videos. We're figuring out how we can do the how long are you gonna do the podcast section? I only got 30 minutes, and you're my preferred news source. I appreciate that. I feel like this podcast live streams will do maybe two a week. We'll see what the cadence is, because I've been informed by just like, you know, what do you call them? What are those guys called? Consultants saying 3 videos a week should be what I do on Decoy. So I'll probably do 3 videos a week, and then fill up all the other topics on live stream so we can just knock out more topics really quickly. It's not as polished. It's not the, you know, concise, lighthearted commentary, but we'll be able to talk about more stuff. And I even think my chat here is frozen. Or maybe it's just not as active because we don't got that many people here. Either way, it's fine. I'm just trying to make sure that everything's working. Yeah. And I think it'll be easy to catch lives on when it's on Decoy Voice or Decoy, because then there's more people there. The chat's more lively. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. The shaky cam is kind of annoying. I think you only noticed it when I said it. It's always been there. But now I'm a little, like, it's maybe an inch closer to my face. And for whatever reason, like when I was standing up, it was chopping off the top of my head or just getting too close to my face. It was just a bizarre thing. So you say, Tick, Decoy is not clickbaity like almost all the channels. I appreciate the balance. I mean, I am significantly more clickbaity now than I was before. Like if we go back to, let's go to Decoy, and then I'm you know, just Insider Baseball. I'm pretty much following the Asmongold cadence of how he's titling everything, and you know, some videos are popping, doing well, some videos really aren't. Maybe it's, oh, thanks for the subscription, but maybe it's the subject matter that's keeping it kind of suppressed. But if you look at my older videos, these things were more, I don't know, like 3 years ago, COVID, Justin Bieber, paralyzed, why is rare so common in 2022? I guess that's not really clickbait, right? Is that Stin $5,000 for a steady mount for the 3 people who care? I mean, if I could find a steady mount. I did several people because of clickbait titles. Well, I would say, what were we calling it? It's a little clickbaity, but it's like, yeah, stabbed 7 times, how these robbers found out over at my old apartment over there. It seems like clickbait, but it actually is a guy that stabbed some robbers 5 or 7 times, and the local authorities let him off with not even a warning, just said, hey, good job or whatever. It's conscientious clickbait. It's responsible clickbait. Yes, it is. Consequences are finally here. 20 years present. What is this? But it actually delivers on the promise that is the subject matter. So I think, yeah, it's not egregious. That's what I think. Who the heck reads titles? I see Decoy posts and I hit play. I appreciate that. I feel like it's not really clickbait. It's just embellishing the facts. Yeah, exactly. Inflation affects titles too. I think it's what happened with not so much rap music, but EDM music. If you were into like Avicii and Porter Robinson and all that, like there is a period of time in electronic dance music where there was something called the noise wars, where everybody was making their song slightly louder, so it kind of like when the drop hit, it was more popping, and it was just like you got more into it. As everybody gradually made their music a little bit louder and kind of redlining more, it made the music harder to hear, and then nobody could make a very well balanced and equalized song anymore because there was like the noise battles, and it was just slowly creeping up on everybody. I think with Asmongold having his particular video style that is the meta. Like what Asmongold does is pretty much what everybody starts doing, all start doing it. Then you see Tim Pool doing it after me. Like Asmongold's like pretty much the pace car. Yeah, maybe Sunshine can't stand clickbait titles, but I mean, it's happening gradually. I think at some point in time, maybe the YouTube AI will start to go after search engine terms. Remember back in the day when Timcast got big, maybe 5 years ago? It was Donald Trump says POTUS does Democrats outrage. Like, it was just filled with keywords, and that's what got you ranked higher in search, therefore got you more watch time, therefore got you a space on the browse shelf. That isn't really in vogue anymore, but I mean, as time is going on, we just have to keep on like outdoing each other. Yeah, headlines. Asmon setting the meta is so hilarious. I mean, he's the top guy right now, though. The Roach King. I mean, if he's the Roach King, we are all his Roach subjects at some level. I get the need to roll with the algorithm, and it's just kind of like it's what people are interacting with, and it's sad to say, like, when you get ads that are too much in this category. Oh, I see too many ads that are about junk food, or I see too many ads about online dating or something. That's because they're interacting with the ads. They're clicking it and showing the AI or the algorithm that that's what you're looking for. So when you complain about it, it's because it's working on you. And the same thing with clickbait titles is like, we wouldn't have all these people outbidding each other with the clickbait titles if it wasn't for the majority of everybody, including you, likely responding to clickbait titles better. Yeah, Ozempic ads. That was the one thing. It was a guy a long time ago that was complaining on I think it was Facebook, where he was like, "Oh, why is Facebook selling out and selling a whole bunch of gay dating apps on the advertisement?" And someone said, "It's because it's based off your own search history, dude. Like, you're snitching yourself out." Yeah, Manscaped ads. I mean, maybe Manscaped ads because I've plugged them on my channel before, and maybe you click that. Hard to say. Here's the thing. You've been getting 3 ads in a row how to use an ad blocker to teach the platform a lesson. And it's all these different platforms do different things. And I can't say specifically for YouTube, but I know YouTube gives you ads based on your threshold of how many ads you'll watch. But Instagram, you can easily teach Instagram how to give you less ads when you see too many ads between scrolling. And you're like, wow, my feed is just too many ads now. Just whenever you see an ad, look at it and close the app and do something else. Open up another app, go off it. If every time Instagram realizes that you're on it and you see an ad and you click off, it'll still show you some ads, but it's going to gradually taper it off because it knows you, the individual, has a less like pain tolerance for ads. That's how you train it. Yeah, I love having premium. I have premium on YouTube. I love that thing. Some saying Tim got stale. I think it's a big thing with people evolving with the time. Like if you look at my videos, back in the day, like I've been messing, like this is like when I wiped the slate clean. Like here's a giant change in the way I did videos, but you can see my thumbnails, they just evolved over time, experimenting with the yellow text, no text, red text. I think I've pretty much settled in on that. But even if you look at my most recent video, most of you, I guess, put Y in chat if you've seen Y in chat if you noticed, but all my videos have a certain type of editing style. This last video has a slower pace. So it just, well, you don't, Heathcliff typed in Y right now. We haven't even talked about what the change was. But the change was things take more time to play. Like before it was kind of Mr. Beast editing. Here's a thing, here's a thing, there's a thing, here's me talking, there's a video, here's a cutaway of a news article. Like it happened every 5 seconds. But this latest video just is a snail's pace for me, but more standard with what the YouTube meta is. So I switched it to a slightly different video style and seeing if anybody would notice it, you know? Well, not necessarily notice it, but if people would actually like it. Yeah, people said they'd notice longer videos. Yeah, the videos have been a bit longer. When's the last time I had it? Yeah, this 6-minute video maybe was a subject matter, but this video also didn't do as well. Yeah, Mr. Beast, you can like Mr. Beast or dislike Mr. Beast, but one thing you can't say is he isn't a master of his craft. He knows the YouTube algorithm. He knows how to entertain people in this TikTok brain rot generation. So I might not like Mr. Beast. I might, you know, I like Tim, but it's like I might not like Tim's content right now. I might not like Hassan, but I will still respect their ability to their longevity, and they're creating content that people are watching. So I won't, you know, I won't be such a, not the word isn't prude, but I won't be so elitist that I won't listen to them if they say something or do something that says, hey, Mr. Beast says content's like this. I might not like him as what his content is, but I still respect it. Everybody knows they're fools. And exactly, like, I'm not here to sell you guys on like some cryptocurrency, but I know to the best of my ability what you guys interact with, what you like seeing, what you don't like seeing. I know like pretty much my audience fairly well that I'm into... Do I have anything Pokemon here? Not Norm's Reach, but I have Pokemon stuff back there. I'm really into baseball, but I'm not going to do a video talking about why Shohei Ohtani is the best baseball player of all time. Wow, there is a lot of shake right now. I'm not gonna make a video about Shohei Ohtani. I'm not gonna make a video unpacking Pokemon cards because I know that's not what you guys want. What about Digimon? No Digimon here. When I was a kid, you had to there was a fine line. You either liked Pokemon, Digimon, or Yu-Gi-Oh, and we were like gangs at that point. You couldn't like both. Shake builds character. I need to fix this. I don't know what it is, because before I had like this whole teleprompter thing, and now I'm not using it. But, I mean, we'll figure it out. Digimon is goated, Pokemon is trash now. I mean, all I want is that gray Pikachu plush coming out, but apparently it's like Japan only. Yeah, Earthquake Cam. I just need to not touch this as much. That's the thing, you said you watch your niece and nephews watch Mr. Beast a few times, and it's for kids. Honestly, it was me being at my parents' house, and my nephew wanted to watch Mr. Beast on YouTube, and honestly, we watched a full, long episode, and we're like thoroughly entertained the entire time. I think we watched that. We watched Red Bull Soapbox Derby races, which was also entertaining. We watched, it was like baseball bat reviews that autoplayed to another baseball bat review. Like, they are masters of their craft. They know what the algorithm is. Stop auditing yourself live. I mean, that's a part of it. It's like, we can talk about the channel and try to how to make it better as almost a, like a group project. Obviously, if you're watching the live stream, you guys are like high consumers of the content. There's like 700 of you on YouTube. Maybe Rumble's my most other watch. Like, Kick right now has basically nobody on it. Let's see how many people are watching over on Rumble. Yeah, 200 on Rumble. Twitter, I don't really trust those numbers, but we can do it almost as a group project as we're on here. Yeah. What if I mounted the camera to the wall behind my desk? I couldn't because it's with the standing desk. Everything has to move together, and I don't have a mount that it's that tall. I'm just trying to figure out. Just trying to figure things out, because I also have an old webcam mic camera that stands more up there, and that gives me the more standard live streamer angle, where it's kind of like above you, like a webcam thing. Maybe I'll do that, because this is just good. Like, I don't do the dead on thing like a Candace Owens or a Brett Cooper or whatever, because I obviously use this dead space. Like, I don't put any decoration here at all, because this is where I put like an image, like a thumbnail or a GIF or a video. Like, I use that space. That kick isn't working for you. I mean, it is what it is. Gigapet's better than Tamagotchi. I mean, when I was younger, I think the knockoff one was Nanopet, and that's the one I had. Same thing. I couldn't tell the difference, but I liked it. World Baseball Classic, I mean, I'm looking forward to a rematch of USA versus Japan. That'll be awesome. It's kind of sad that I think a lot of the star pitchers are just going to play in pool play, and they're just trying to pitch maybe 4 innings, not injure themselves, and then go back home. So, sad to say. Yeah, this seems more conversational. This is just more back and forth. I'm thinking maybe the live stream we do on Decoy isn't even based on topics. It was just hanging out. You're saying unpack vintage t-shirts you find on Etsy. Honestly, I've heard some horror stories because I like fashion YouTube. Like, I'll watch people talk about, oh, here's a new sneaker, here's the new Adidas jacket or whatever. Like, I like that stuff. And then I'll hear people that like to do thrift shopping, and they'll straight up get like, they'll try on a hat and they'll be like, a episode later, yeah, I got ear mites now, or something bizarre like that. Like, oh, well, I got a really bad rash after I tried on jackets at this very fancy thrift store. It's like, yeah, no, call me elitist or whatever, but honestly, I don't think I ever want to I don't want to go to a thrift store, package antique clothing. It's just not for me. Oh yeah, baseball's huge in Venezuela. It's crazy how you have these small islands, the Dominican Republic, Cuba, Japan. Like, it's almost like the smaller the island, the bigger concentration there is of like amazing baseball players. Otani, Yamamoto from Japan, who Yasiel Puig, he was Dominican? Am I mistaken? I forget. But just these tiny islands producing these all-time great baseball players, and it's like it's insane to think. Samoans in the NFL, I mean, yeah, there's what is it? They're just built different. Like anybody that says ethnicities are all the same is lying. Like I've known Samoans and Tongans throughout high school, and it's like their musculature is different. Like what is it? Asians have more slow twitch muscle fibers. Blacks have more fast twitch muscle fibers. It's just the way we're built. Some of us are built more for like endurance, long distance. Some of us are more built for like bursts of speed. Like what is it? Conor McGregor, bursts of speed, bursts of power. Who's the guy that he kept on fighting? Nate Diaz, he's more slow twitch, just slow churn. He beats you in 5 rounds. So it's like, it's not like anybody's better or worse. We're just built for different things. And when you see a Samoan player in the NFL, they're probably going to be an offensive lineman, possibly maybe on the defensive lineman side. But I think we have yet to see, other than Tua Tagovailoa, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, a bursty running back type guy. It's just, we're just different. Isn't there a direct correlation on how much sunshine a region gets and how good their baseball players are? I don't think so. I think, what is it? I think it's just cultural. Like I think why soccer is so big in the third world is because baseball requires a lot of equipment and a lot of like space designed for baseball. Football, you can have a piece of trash and that can be your soccer and you're just playing soccer all together. You kind of have to be a little bit I'm not saying rich, but you have to be more well off than a place that doesn't have running water. Isn't the wide receiver for the Rams Samoan? Puka Nacua, you could say it is, but I think he's got German. I think he's got a lot of stuff in him. But he's also Puka Nacua, I think he's more of a tight end. When you say, like, you know, wide receivers, by and large, are either going to be kind of a slot receiver. He's like 5'8" and yoked, so he lines up closer to the middle. Or he's like 6'5", Travis Kelce, Rob Gronkowski. He's like a giant yoke guy that plays the line a little bit, but he also runs for a pass like a tight end. I think Puka Nacua is a tight end that just gets a lot of wide receiver stuff going on. Oh, thanks for the subscribing for another month, Troglodyte. Filipinos, honestly, I don't even know, like, what is it? The only famous generational athlete Filipino I know is Tiger Woods. He's half, but I mean, I count it. I count Kyler Murray for being Korean, even though I think he's maybe a fourth or maybe half. He's just like this 5'8" guy, in my mind, killing it in the NFL because he was a starting quarterback for a long time, being as small as he is, but obviously his team doesn't like him. Oh, thanks for the prime sub, Scooby Woof Doo. But yeah, being a starting quarterback in the NFL at 5'8" is a humongous feat, even if his team kind of hates him. Like I went to a game, and you could tell on the field they just do not like him. Manny Pacquiao, yeah, Manny Pacquiao, but didn't he box at like 115? Not to denigrate that, but it's only boxing that people don't compete against each other. They don't, or the different sizes. Like basketball, everybody gets put in the same league. There's no like, oh, under 5, 115 pounders. They don't play against each other unless they're like in the Filipino the basketball league. But yeah, Ronald Mars isn't a competitor. He's not an athlete though. Eric Spoelstra, I don't think he played either, did he? I just don't like him. Pac-Man Mayweather 2 in September. The first one was 5 years late. This one's 2 decades late. What was the... Can I even say the joke on here? I don't think I can. But let's just put it... That fight was incredibly boring. It was a whole lot of hugging and not that much fighting. Pacquiao didn't do anything. Mayweather didn't do anything. And when we were like, why didn't Pacquiao empty the tank and try to win? He thought he was ahead on the scoreboard. And I'm like, yeah, looking back, nobody knew who was winning that fight. It was boring. That Pacquiao Mayweather was the death of boxing, in my opinion. That's when the UFC took over, and then Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder was the return of boxing in the mainstream, because that was exciting. Pacquiao started 115, then went up to 150, pound for pound GOAT, probably, yep. Yeah, Mighty Mouse Demetrius Johnson's 5'4" and 130, and submitted 300-pound opponents in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. 1,000,000%, like, what is it? He's just, what they say? What Joe Rogan say about Mighty Mouse? He was like, he just moves more fluid than anybody. I really appreciate when you find, like, Instagram reels, or, like, when I'm scrolling through, I'll see Mighty Mouse coaching people on certain, like, insignificant small movements or ways to get leverage and when he's grappling, and it's like, wow, this guy, he just knows the sport like a savant. Early UFC was nuts. Yeah, it was good. USA product placement. I mean, I'm a fan of baseball, and this jersey was too good not to pick up when I was at the store. Yeah, plus Jake Paul fighting all those old boxers makes it a joke. 100%. But here's the thing is, Jake Paul is like Floyd Mayweather. When you had Floyd Mayweather, who was like, you know, a very, very technical defensive boxer using the Philly shell and everything. But then when he became a little bit of CTE and then became Floyd Money Mayweather, he was talking all this trash, making you want to tune in to see him get beaten up. He was selling pay-per-views. Conor McGregor essentially did that with the UFC, becoming like a WWE type wrestler talking trash with like his promos before the fights. And then Jake Paul is just an extension of that with essentially celebrity boxing as he would be. And it's like, he knows what he's doing. He's doing it well. Becoming a multi-millionaire in the process. I really can't knock it, because I hope one day I have enough subscribers where I too can box Jake Paul or Logan Paul for a $5 million payday. That would be amazing. Paul versus Tyson's rigged or no? I say rigged. I say all boxing. All boxing. Rigged. The judges... How do I say this without saying being overly confident? But sometimes, you know, especially at the Olympics, this was not a fair fight. They already knew who was going to win. There's no other explanation. And even though when I say Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury was an amazing fight, they got all the interest in it. Tyson Fury, I think in his second knockdown, he was on the ground for like 20 seconds, and the guy was counting as slow. He didn't count for like 5 seconds. Then he counted every second in 3 seconds, and it's like it was just made to help him get back up, because probably somebody back there had bets that he wasn't going to lose by knockout. Decoy versus Hassan. Who's the guy, the comedian that challenged him to a fight, and like he just never talked about him again? I think the same thing. Who's the guy? He's a big guy. He was like, Hassan Piker, I'm coming for you. I'm gonna get you in real life. Sam Hyde, thank you. Sam Hyde. Yes, Sam Hyde ended that discussion forever, because then it made it real for him. I think when me and Johnny Somali were going back and forth, not even going back and forth, I was giving him advice, shedding light on what he was doing, and saying, hey, if you don't clean up your act, you're going to end up severely injured, reputation damaged, or in prison for a long period of time. Possibly one, probably all three. And then he was like sending his Discord server to like mass report my channel. He was threatening me, calling me racial slurs, and I was still pretty nice to him, saying, hey, don't do any of this. And then I just remember someone said, oh, don't you want to just challenge him to celebrity boxing? And I was like, yeah, at one point in time, I thought I was going to just travel to Japan on a trip, but it'd be a work trip, and just if I bump into him, I bump into him, whatever. But then I realized, not to be derogatory, but he was just a smaller gentleman, and I was like, nah, that's not gonna look good for me. Even if he attacked me or whatever, and I defended myself or whatever, like, it wouldn't look good for me to fight him at his size. After I just made that statement saying, hey, I don't even want to fight him, I was just saying, hey, it just wouldn't be, there's a disparity here. He started talking trash to me like overnight. And then look at him now, he's probably going to do 3 years in a labor camp. Yeah, someone saying, who? I'll do one last video about him when he actually gets sentenced. I don't want to milk this thing for content anymore. It's just, when he's done, he's done. Yeah, Floyd waited until Manny Pacquiao was on the decline to fight him. 100%. That's all boxers. All boxers are like, oh, I got undefeated record, so I'm not going to fight anybody real. That's what they say, like, the ultimate insult in boxing is calling you a bum. Because what they used to do back in the day, and it's messed up, is they would literally go out there and find a bum from the boxcar to say, hey, Decaf is 3-0. He's boxing local guys around the city. We want to get him to 10-0 so we can start getting some actual like fights with a person. Find us 7 bums out there for him to fight every single month and get his record up there. They don't fight someone that's actually gonna challenge them. Like, what was it? Ryan Garcia and Tank. What is his name? I forget his name right now. But the guy that I think he's going through some legal troubles right now. I think he's not one of the greatest, but one of the best boxers out right now. But he was not gonna fight him under normal circumstances until he did, and then he lost in spectacular fashion. Not Tank Abbott. Not Tank Abbott. No, it's not Tank Abbott. It's who's the other guy? It's not Tank Abbott. It's the guy that knocked out Ryan Garcia like very quickly. Yeah, there we go. Not Tank Abbott. Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Tank Davis. Yeah, exactly him. I like Tank Davis. Andrew Tate can fight, can he? I just know that he used to do kickboxing, so I believe it. And I also think he's pretty yoked, so probably. And we're not talking about the topic yet. It's like we're gonna probably be live streaming for 3 hours. We got several topics. What are the topics today? The war over in Iran. The protesters finding out that sticks and stones don't do anything to Reaper missiles. We got the celebrations in Iran versus the protests in America. What happened to the ICE protests in America? Possible sleeper cells in America. And also more news about California, the fraud, and how bad it is over here. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on. If you like these conversational live streams, you can hang out over here and just chill for a bit. But if you need it to be right to the topic, subscribe to at Decoy. Those are like 5 to 8 minute videos. That's pretty much what you're probably looking for. A lot of skepticism around Tate's record. A lot of skepticism around everybody's record. Like, I think they even highlighted that problem in that Creed movie where I forgot. Yeah, it was Creed maybe 1. They needed somebody to sub in for a title fight. And they're like, oh, Creed, Michael B. Jordan's character. They said, hey, you've been fighting over in Mexico in like bars. Let's just make that your professional record. So they automatically made him like 15-0 or something. So yeah, it's boxing is rife with corruptness or skepticism about it. I mean, that's why there's no de facto UFC. Of course, people can hate on Dana White and UFC all you want, but it's not like at least they don't have 20 different title belts, some of which seem kind of shady, and there's no de facto, like, if you're the UFC champ, you're the champ. I remember, what was it, Ben Askren, oh my god, he's so good, if over in Pride, over in One, if he came to UFC, he'd dominate, he's the guy, and then when he comes over, gets, like, quickly knocked out by, like, rank number 5 in the UFC, so criticize UFC all you want and what they pay their fighters. I think it's fair for the platform they provide. You think you trained it for very long? I mean, yeah, it is. People talking about Tate would never get in there with him. Honestly, here's the thing. Do I have absolute confidence that I would probably get ended in round 1 against Jake Paul? Of course. Of course. I think he's been training for a very long time. I've seen him. He's probably, maybe he's not in substances because he's testing for these professional fights, but yes, he's larger than me, stronger than me, and he's been training for a lot longer than me. Would I get in the fight? Would I get in the ring with him for $1 million payday on Netflix? 1,000,000% I would. I mean, I'm willing to take one bad beating to get a payday. I think, I guess the difference is you're saying people talking about Tate, they wouldn't see him in the street and fight him in the street. I get that. I would not. Oh, thanks for the Prime sub. Oh, it's a walrus. I would not fight him in the street, but I would fight him in a well refereed matched match in the first world. Tate lost a boxing match to a guy 10 years younger. I mean, how old is he? 10 years young? It'd be one thing if you were like 20 and you lost to a 10-year-old. But if you're like 50 and losing to a 40-year-old, or even 30 losing to a 20-year-old, that's somewhat permissible. Or understandable. Oh, thanks for the super chat. We'll cover all the super chats at the end of the video, but I appreciate that. Tate lost to Sneeko. I mean, honestly, Tate, Sneeko, and who's that other guy? Myron Gaines, a fresh and fit guy. Oh, that was the other example I was saying about the whole like. I'm doing the weave right now. Donald Trump talks about, but Tate, Sneeko, and Myron Gaines, they're just shock jocks of this generation. I don't think they mean most of the things they say, but the more outrageous they are, the more they trend, the easier it is to clip them and put them on TikTok. I think I'm just too moderate and boring to make TikToks because I don't ever say anything really that outrageous. But also I say Sam Hyde and Hassan, Johnny Somali and me, and then Myron Gaines and his partner on the Fresh and Fit podcast, and Abba and Preach. Once Preach said, hey, no, you're talking about my wife. I'm going to see you in the streets. I'm going to fight you in a boxing match. I'll fight one of you, and then I'll fight the other one. It was a very, like, level-headed, non-emotional statement. He was just like, no, I'm going to wreck you guys. Let's go box. Time and place. I think that was the end of Myron and, I forget the Fresh and Fit guy, talking back to him, because they realized, oh no, like, we're making internet drama, and you might hurt me. So I think that's a big thing of, like, your Hassans and your Sneekos or whatever. I don't think they really mean all the stuff they say. I'm not knocking it, because at some level I'm kind of doing similar by making, like, drama content at times, but I also know not to take anything any of these guys say seriously, because should it be a real life scenario, I don't think they mean it. Andrew Tate got KO'd by a too hot to handle contestant. I mean, on a lot of these guys that are on dating shows, like, very, very much on the substances. Like, I feel like those guys, like, you watch a dating show with the exception of, like, that Korean one, Singles Inferno, and all the guys are, like, gorilla-like, so, yeah. He wants to be a promoter, exactly, they are. I'm a grown-ass man to take life advice from Sneeko, exactly, because, sad to say, I think everybody in this chat, there's not that many of us, we got like 1,000 on YouTube and, you know, a couple hundred everywhere else, but like 1,500 people here. I'm willing to bet all 1,500 of us gathered in this little chat today have not purchased a Andrew Tate life advice course. But when I was a regular manager at a store, and I had security guards where it's like, they're like age 18 to like 23 years old. A lot of them were like applying to become police officers. A lot of them? Like, I mean, an absurd amount, an upsetting amount of them pay for the top tier Andrew Tate class. I'm talking about guys that used to play football, that are like crowed, that are just guys that do nothing but chase girls all day and want to be rich and listen to trap music. That was Andrew Tate's like base audience, and they actually were subscribing to it. So it's like, yes, us here, we don't subscribe to that stuff, but again, we want the target audience. Which is very bizarre that, like, I think that, what is it, Shoe on Head said her female audience was like under 5%. I had a screenshot somewhere, but when you look at my stats for politics and like news subjects, I think I have something along the lines of like a 12% female audience, which is unheard of for the topic, but it is just very bizarre that we're more of a Times Square than most of these places. Only idiots pay to listen to idiots, but that's the thing. If you're an idiot, why wouldn't you just be the rich idiot instead of the idiot that's giving up your money away to other idiots? It's a good grift if you can get it. Yeah, I like Shoe on Head. Shoe on Head is great. She's real. I really like her pivot from, I never thought I'd have conservative values until I had a baby, and once I had a baby, all these things that the left classifies as fascism is suddenly starting to sound very good for me. And I think that's what the real world is. Like, it's if you're young and not liberal, you're heartless. If you're old and not conservative, you're brainless. And life comes at you fast when you realize, hey, there's a little tiny mouth to feed that is essentially me. I'm in charge of taking care of it. No longer can I care more about the environment and all the the environment, the aliens, the plants. Like this is the meme over here, opinion dismissed, where if you don't know what this is, the dots in the middle is like what you care about. Your immediate family, your cousins, your extended family, your best friends, your neighbors, the people in your community, people at your workplace. Like, this is what you care about. And the outside is like aliens in outer space, rocks, plants, the ocean, like just the things that really aren't close to you. Conservatives all put their values in protecting and prioritizing immediate family. Meanwhile, liberals put more emphasis on protecting the universe, aliens, the ocean, like things that aren't really attached to them. And it's like, yeah, that's why nobody cares about what you think, because honestly, you would give up your neighbor for a rock. It seems ridiculous, but it's true. I bet leftist streamers have a higher percentage of female viewers. I think based on your appearance. I bet you Hassan has a bigger female audience, but that's based on his appearance alone. I think Shoe on Head has a bigger male audience based on her appearance alone. Oh, thanks for the super chat from IDR. I don't even know what that is. It's 20,000 IDR of Ashiba saying thumbs up. But what is IDR? Yeah, they care more about space aliens than some of their Trump derangement syndrome family. Indonesia? Okay, appreciate that. Yeah, it's sad because when they care more about abstract things... Oh, thank you, Kaija Blade, for this prime sub. When they care more about abstract things that aren't attached to them, it's easier to control them because you can lie about those abstract things, like what we're seeing over in Iran. Oh, you gotta protect the Iranians from the attack from Trump, when the Iranians love this, but they can just lie about what's happening to them and then get them to essentially attack their neighbors in their cause. And that's something that we're actually going to cover today. So let's go ahead and get into the story today, saying Shu was like boxy moist critical. But I mean, here's the thing: is I think moist critical is Charlie's never going to lose his audience. But I think after a series of controversial takes about the ICE situation, he lost a lot of his footing, at least in my opinion. If Democrats do anything opposite of Trump, it is sad, but that has officially become their platform, and I really wonder what they'll do when they actually have to run on ideas and how to make your life better, as opposed to, did you know that Donald Trump is bad? So I think during the topics, we'll turn off the music because it's a little bit inappropriate to be listening to smooth AI jazz when we're watching literal bombings of countries. Because right now, they're showing us Tehran is currently being carpet bombed, and it's crazy that, you know, you say it looks like a war zone, looks like World War III, because we're actually looking at it right now. This is what a World War III would look like, and it almost seems to be starting, because you see that's happening over there from far away. But, you know, we got to be careful with some of the videos we play. But this is what World War III would have looked like in our minds, and it's happening in front of our eyes. You say we're now entering World War III, calm down. I mean, I would like to say we're not, but some of this stuff that's happening, I kind of feel like it is, because look at this. Seems like a rapid escalation from the first night of fighting, but then you see this over here from, this is not Operation Midnight Hammer. Who named it Midnight Hammer? It's not Midnight Hammer. It was called, chat, what was was this operation called? I forget already. But you see this, where someone said, Iranian state medium says no bomb can reach us because Allah protects us. Epic Fury, yeah. terrifying stuff over there. And then you see this, what is it, can't play all of it, but they say leftists slamming President Trump as U.S. Marines open fire on Pakistanis who stormed the U.S. consulate in Karachi. So this is the more mild version, because you know if this channel ever shows something that even looks like a two-way tool, we get nuked from orbit. But there's another video of them trying to break through the gate, and they actually are holding rifles and handguns. This one's just them using sticks and stones, trying to get in the U.S. consulate over what we did in Iran. And I'm not saying this could be a military force, but I'm saying they, like many liberals, found out that they're not playing games. This isn't just, oh, we're playing war. I'm just going to break these windows, and since I'm a peaceful protester, peacefully protesting, you're not going to do anything about this, because very shortly after, they opened fire. U.S. Marines, this is Code Pink, and what is this, a feminist account with almost 150,000 followers saying, U.S. Marines shot and killed at least 12 people in Karachi, Pakistan. More than 30 are injured. Where is the international outrage over these U.S. soldiers slaughtering Pakistani protesters, not enemy combatants, not people with sticks and stones that are actually trying to fight them? And in the other video that we can't show, yeah, that's the video over there. Cannot show that video because it actually is them firing off weapons at the consulate. And they say, yeah, the Marines fired at the protesters, tried to storm the U.S. consulate, 9 to 10, 12 killed, dozens injured in self-defense. In self-defense, you want just protesters peacefully protesting, but things are escalating. And the way that the media probably would have portrayed this earlier is, one, they would have let the consulate get taken over. They would have let those U.S. Marines get, I guess you could just say the word ended, but I mean the more gruesome version of ended over there would have been gruesomely ended over what's happening, and things would have been escalating towards a World War III type situation. Because you see this over here, Tel Aviv, it's pretty bad. And shout out to Trey Yingst, he's doing really good coverage over there. I always feel like when stuff pops up over there, he gives us some pretty good insight. I don't know if he's exclusive to Fox News, but he does a good job in my opinion. But there you go, Benghazi 2.0. They would have been Benghazi'd, and that would have been teetering us more towards a World War II, because honestly, I think, yes, Americans seem to be on the side of this. I feel like Iranian citizens are really on the side of this war, but I think our Americans would be more on the side of escalating this to a ground war if you saw a large group of military-age males dragging out U.S. Marines to be ended in the most graphic, horrific fashion for all the world to see on all the smartphones and 4K. That would have started much, much more than what we're seeing right now.
We're here at the site of a ballistic
World War III,
impact in Tel Aviv. First
World War II
responders
2.0,
are
yes.
currently digging through the debris to see if there are any other survivors. We know there were at least 20 people injured in this last barrage, and the building was on fire when we arrived. There is a huge response, but the incoming fire is making it challenging because these first responders have to keep running into shelters. We just saw 2 civilians pulled out of the building.
Guess we can't show that, but it's actually getting really bad. And the crazy part is, they're saying it's no longer a conspiracy theory. They just used directed energy weapons, DEWs, using the high-powered laser weapon, the Iron Beam. Someone just said in chat right now we wouldn't be using conventional weapons. It would be cyber warfare, drones and missiles on a much bigger scale. I mean, eventually tactical nukes, likely, terrifyingly, but we're in the space wars now, guys. Oh, I guess there's no audio. But using DEWs, lasers, to stop incoming missiles. You say World War III isn't kicking off until we have 100,000 casualties? This thing's just taking out missiles incoming, but what if they have that in space as well? Here I am with a tinfoil hat, but honestly, they used to say DEWs didn't exist before, but what happens if it's used on civilians? Everybody's afraid of a tactical nuke, but it could have become worse. Now, they're taking losses. Tel Aviv is getting hit pretty hard, but now we are also starting to take losses as, 3 U.S. F-15s were mistakenly shot down by Kuwaiti air defenses.
Doing here, Kuwait looks as though through their missile defense has taken out 2 of our planes. You'll see some of that video shortly. They've done that. Thankfully, our pilots are okay. But this is the type of mass coordination that has to be pulled off. You got armies in these Arab states. They have their own missile defense. We have our units. And on the other side, you also have Israel working. So the coordination's got to be exquisite. Sometimes it's doing here, Kuwait.
Yeah, it's going down. They actually have some video over there of what it looks like when they went down. They apparently successfully ejected. Which is terrifying. Oh, there's one video. Wait, where's the video with the parachute? Oof, that's loud. There you go. Here's the parachute coming out.
شوف يا واحد شوف هذا المسير يا الربع شوف نزلوا هذول
Oh, and we can't play this video because when they zoom in, that person isn't the most injured, but he's pretty injured, and the people approaching him are armed. But then apparently they said they found somebody that was a Kuwaiti man was running up to this pilot.
You're fine? Really?
Is that a female pilot?
To help you?
It was friendly fire, yeah.
You're safe. You're safe. You're safe. Everything good? No problem. Thank you for helping us. Everything perfect?
That's a female pilot, which is kind of scary to think about. With all the things happening between us and them, and what happened over on October 7th, what could have potentially happened to this person if they were shot down over there? Kind of scary. You're saying it's fake and staged? I really don't think it is, because we actually are losing U.S. soldiers over there. Like, it's getting bad.
Moments ago, CENTCOM confirming a fourth U.S. service member has died in the attacks against Iran, revealing, quote, the fourth member saying this, the fourth service member who was seriously wounded during Iran's initial attacks eventually succumbed to their injuries. Major combat operations continue, and our response effort is ongoing. Retired moments ago.
Kind of sad. It's costing American lives. I feel like we have so much of a technological advantage over them, and yet we're still losing our people. Now, it's not just soldiers, but also tourists, civilians, like over in Dubai, people just eating lunch and then getting airstruck. That's crazy. Trying to calm them down. And the craziest part is you saw this video over here in Dubai where it's like what looks like a hotel building, right? So a Dorito drone comes over at them. Strikes this building, right? Pretty scary, because that probably could have taken out a lot of people. I think this video here of this drone is actually this guy. It says British man vacationing Dubai is going viral after a drone through his apartment. But you see those rails? That looks like the same thing. Chad, is this the same place in Dubai?
Doing it. No joking, guys. We have just been hit by a drone. We heard it coming. It stinks of oil in here. I didn't even finish my cup of tea.
Didn't even finish his cup of tea. But also, this thing might not have exploded on impact, but might still explode. You need to be sprinting down the fire escape as quickly as possible. Yeah, he needs to get the heck out of there.
We've just been hit by a drone. We're in Water 1 on the top floor. 19th floor. We're off.
Oh, top floor, 10th floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now this is 10. Well, you said top floor, right? Yeah, just get out. Doesn't matter, but just citizens are in danger. They're losing their lives. And you see this over here. It just looks like a ghost town. Everybody's afraid to be out. There's pictures and videos of just empty streets. This is like this one tweet I pulled up. A lot of them are pretty much hunkering down. I think the government of Dubai is now, or the United Arab Emirates, they're now telling people, hey, if your vacation has to be extended, we're going to compensate you for it, because they have the funds, and also just nobody, it's not their fault they're stuck there. But right now, they're trying to surrender. Well, not surrender. They're trying to have concession talks.
Just got a message from a senior White House official who tells Fox News President Trump said new potential leadership in Iran has indicated they want to talk, and eventually he will talk. For now, Operation Epic Fury continues unabated.
Yeah, we're here to talk. please hear our terms of surrender. It's like, no. We're going to finish bombing what we're going to bomb, and then we're going to surrender, because Donald Trump finally went out and made a statement. It's pretty long, but let's just hear a bit of it.
The United States and its partners have launched Operation Epic Fury, one of the largest, most complex, most overwhelming military offensives the world has ever seen. He's
like, nobody's ever seen this. I really wonder, since this attack seems to be undermining China's ability to get oil, to cut Venezuela first, to stabilize oil prices in America, then taking on Iran because they don't want them to get nukes, but then also taking away China's ability to get oil. I wonder if Russia or China is also providing Iran with defensive capabilities, and they're just now finding out they can't do a single thing against an American offensive. This isn't the full force of our military, but this is a lot of them. And I wonder if this is making them kind of squirm a bit, knowing that their ally or their supply chain just got wrecked, and they almost could do nothing about it. Yeah, did it humiliate Russia? I'm not sure. I thought it was task and purpose, but no. Now he has a channel, Cappy Army, Chris Cappy. I'm no military expert, but you wonder if is this doing something beyond just taking out Iran? Is this actually changing the ranking, the power rankings of world superpowers right now?
Seen anything like it. We have hit hundreds of targets in Iran, including Revolutionary Guard facilities, Iranian air defense systems. Just now it was announced that we knocked out 9 ships plus their naval building.
I think since this video, they said they have now sunken every single one of their ships, and now they essentially they no longer have a navy.
All in a matter of literally minutes. Iran's formerly supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, is dead. This wretched and vile man had the blood of hundreds and even thousands of Americans on his hands, and was responsible for the slaughter of countless thousands of innocent people all across many countries. Last night, all over Iran, the voices of the Iranian people could be heard cheering and celebrating in the streets.
Meanwhile,
when his death was announced.
American liberals are crying over this.
The entire military command is gone as well, and many of them want to surrender into saving their lives. They want immunity. They're calling by the thousands. Combat operations continue at this time in full force, and they will continue until all of our objectives are achieved. We have very strong objectives. They could have done something 2 weeks ago, but they just couldn't get there. Earlier today, CENTCOM shared the news that 3 U.S. military service members have been killed in action. As one nation, we grieve for the true American patriots who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our nation, even as we continue the righteous mission for which they gave their lives. We pray for the full recovery of the wounded and send our immense love and eternal gratitude to the families of the fallen. And sadly, there will likely be more.
Yep, it'll be more.
Before it ends, that's the way it is. Likely be more, but we'll do everything possible where that won't be the case. But America will avenge their deaths and deliver the most punishing blow to the terrorists who have waged war against basically civilization. They have waged war against civilization itself.
Well, it's kind of crazy because who are their allies right now that they've attacked everybody around them? Like, you know that there's all the American liberals protesting on behalf of Iran, saying, "Oh, hands off Iran." But what was it? The Palestinian Authority just condemned Iran's attacks because they hit, what is it? They hit Qatar. They hit they didn't hit Pakistan. They hit Dubai, the UAE. They hit what is it? They hit Bahrain. Like, they're hitting all these other countries that should be their, not even necessarily their allies, but they just hit all the neighbors that just happen to have U.S. forces nearby or even inside. you would think they would try to just go after the American forces themselves, not the civilians in a Dubai hotel. But yeah, I don't see what their end game is. Yeah, Saudi Arabia is now joining the American side right now. They hit a Palestinian hospital. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I don't know what it is. And some of you guys think it was a false flag. It's hard to say because the fog of war is going to be very thick in this one.
Our resolve, and likewise that of Israel, has never been stronger. America is now, again, the richest, most powerful nation in the world by far. But the only reason we enjoy the quality of life that we do and the freedom and security is we have done things that others are unable to do. But it's because of warriors who are willing to lay down their lives to do battle with our enemies. And they do battle better than anybody. An Iranian regime armed with long-range missiles and nuclear weapons would be a dire threat to every American. We cannot allow a nation that raises terrorist armies to possess such weapons that would allow them to extort the world to their evil will. Not going to let it happen. We're not happening to us, and we're not going to let it happen to others. The United States has the strongest military the world has ever seen. I rebuilt our military in my first term. There's never been a military like we
recruiting
possess.
is at a record amount again.
And frankly, there's nobody even close, but we are now using that military for good. We want to have it for good purpose. We're undertaking this massive operation not merely to ensure security for our own time and place, but for our children and their children, just as our ancestors have done for us many, many years ago. This is the duty and the burden of a free people. These actions are right and they are necessary to ensure that America...
does he say... Trump is very long-winded. I like what he's doing, but let's just see.
Americans will never have to face a radical, bloodthirsty terrorist regime armed with nuclear weapons and lots of threats.
Armed with billions of U.S. tax dollars because of Obama, but that's another story entirely.
For almost 50 years, these wicked extremists have been attacking the United States while chanting the slogan, "Death to America" or "Death to Israel" or both. They are the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. We are the world's greatest and most powerful nation, so we...
But they are the #1 sponsor of it, but are they using the money we gave them and continue to give them is my concern.
We can do something about what they do. These intolerable threats will not continue any longer. I once again urge the Revolutionary Guard, the Iranian military, police, to lay down your arms and receive full immunity or face certain death. It will be certain death.
Good deal.
Won't be pretty. I call upon all Iranian patriots who yearn for freedom to seize this moment, to be brave, be bold, be heroic, and take back your country. America is with you. I made a promise to you, and I fulfilled that promise. The rest will be up to you, but we'll be there to help. Thank you. God bless you to our incredible warriors, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
And honestly, I think this is something that is... If he didn't pull this off, I don't want to say flawlessly, because there's issues with it, and we don't want to see American soldiers lose their life. But he campaigns on the only president that hasn't started a new war in the modern times. He's the peacetime president. And then he strikes Venezuela, takes out their dictator. Assists Mexico in taking out a cartel leader that, depending on what tinfoil hat theories you believe, this could be tied to their government itself. And then he goes over and starts a war over in Iran. This doesn't seem like a peacetime president, but a lot of people are in support of this because you saw over in Venezuela, the Venezuelans are all in support of what Trump's doing. In Iran, all these people are in support of that. And I imagine a lot of people in Mexico, they can't celebrate in public because the cartels will end them. But I'm certain there's a lot of regular law-abiding citizens down there that like what he did. He's essentially doing... he's not batting 1,000. He's having issues, but I'm very impressed with how well this is going for us and how well this is going for us on the world scale. Because I think on a global scale, I think a lot of time when I was younger, at least, there was a lot of people saying, people hate America when they travel. Like, they would go travel in Europe and they would put a Canadian flag on their backpack so they're not mistaken for George Bush's imperialist America. I think people are starting to be very proud of America, regardless of what the media is trying to tell you about how the world sees Americans. Yeah, which way is it? Do they love us or chant hateful things about us? I honestly think they love us. I think most citizens love us, but the regime, including the Democrat regime in America, is so desperate for us just to become the world's sugar daddy, essentially, paying for everything and getting nothing in return. I think is where the line is. Citizens, populists, people that aren't a part of a dictator regime, they love this, but the powers that be hate this because here you have an outsider finally ending the globalization of the world. Yeah, war isn't always combat, for example, the media. Yeah, we're going to talk about very shortly what's happening over in the hands-off Iran protests, which is just like the hands-off Venezuela protests, on how this is essentially not Americans or Iranians against, or this isn't Americans versus Iranians. This is everybody, Iranians, Venezuelans, Americans versus China and Chinese propaganda. That's what it comes down to. Yeah, last year, your trip in Europe, they were begging Americans to get Trump in office. They didn't like Biden and didn't even they liked Kamala even less. 100%, that's what it is. Regular citizens that aren't low information voters like what he's doing if you don't get all your news from the mainstream media. Like, I was at a friend's a birthday party, you're just going out for drinks, and I remember the bartender, like, nice enough guy. But he was talking about like how he's apolitical, but everything changed for him. It was, the gist of it was, once one side started saying Nazi slogans in their campaign, that made him have to go Democrat because he's a centrist, but just one side has become fascist and he has to stand against that. How do we have Nazis in America? And I was like, oh, okay. You're a nice enough guy. You're serving us drinks. You're doing good at this job. But you're just not very plugged into what's happening in the real world. You're watching CNN, you're watching MSDNC, you're listening to LeBron James, you're listening to all the social media feeds curated that make you think Donald Trump is a Nazi. Bless his heart. But that bartender doesn't really... He knows next to nothing about politics, and here he is trying to tell us on what a good guy he is. I try to be a centrist, but one side's a Nazi, and it's like, yeah, that's the bulk of everything right now. Centrists are just leftists who call themselves leftists. But here's the thing: is I think that I would be a centrist if it not for what's going on. And someone said, "Stop bombing stolen land; it's all stolen." Miss me with all that stolen land bullshit. Ever since you see what's happening over in the UK, Spain, Germany, where it's like, okay, if you don't like European imperialism taking away America, North America from the natives, why are you so adamant about Africa taking over the native land from Germans, from the British, from Italians? Like, it doesn't seem like you guys seem to care about stolen land or not. You're just anti-white people. Like this crazy thing where they're like, oh, Christianity is going to bring back religious fundamentalism, and you're going to be anti-LGBTQ, and you're going to be very, very religious, and we don't want that. And it's like, well, do you have that same energy to fundamentalist religious people from the Middle East? Or is that okay? So is it, you're not against religious fundamentalism, you're against white religious fundamentalism, and therein lies a problem. You guys have all these virtues and values. Oh, we're against imperialism, we're against, bombing stolen land, we're against religious taking away LGBT rights. No, that's just your code for saying we don't like white people. And that's very bizarre that that's what the left has become. That bartender was AOC. And that's the thing, is I'm not trying to look down on a bartender, having been a bartender for a very short period of time myself. But like many things when I lived in LA, it's just, I don't blame you for being a Democrat by default, and you try not to get canceled. So you say, I love Kamala Harris, I'm team feminism. Like, they say all that stuff because they don't know enough on how to buck it. Like, so many times I'll go to somebody at a protest that's a liberal, and they say, okay, why do you believe this? Or define fascism. Like, oh, I don't know, fascism's evil. Like, they don't know what they're talking about. They just get in line because they're too afraid to live their lives. Like, what do they say? I call liberalism feminism energy. Like, just feminine energy is liberalism, where they say women have to live based on consensus. Men, if they're masculine enough, can live based on reality and truth. Meaning, if everybody in a room is saying Trump is a fascist, if you come out and say, like, the consensus in the room, 100 people say Trump is a fascist, if you're a weak, defenseless woman, you can't say, actually, I saw some evidence that Trump isn't a fascist and he's actually the one defeating fascism. You will get suppressed. You'll be exiled. And if you are a defenseless person, you can't go on your own, live by yourself, because the society has exiled you. So you don't live on based on what you saw as reality. You live your life based on the consensus of the room, because you can't get exiled from the room. A masculinity, they can do whatever they want. They can say, no, you guys are all fucking wrong, because I know the reality is he's not really a fascist. You guys can kick me out of the group. I don't care, because I'm independent enough to take care of myself and my family. That's where I say liberalism is essentially feminine energy, because people don't have to think for themselves. The vaccine is science, so I take it because smarter people than me tell me it's okay. Oh, Trump is a fascist because I saw on CNN, MSNBC, and LeBron James said, so I say the same thing. Even if presented with the truth, they cannot buck away from it and live in reality because they're too afraid of being exiled, and it's sad. Unless you're good looking, I think that's just a self-sufficiency. You can only be based in reality if you can take care of yourself, and a lot of the time, good-looking people have everything given into themselves. Yeah, sheep mentality is what it is. Oh, thanks for catching me live over on X. I mean, I feel like nobody's over on X, but that's what it is. Yeah, those hurting words, exactly. It's like people are afraid to offend the mob, and therefore they let the mob control their lives. And I think it takes a red pill moment for people to break away from that. Like, I would say the vaccines being a red pill moment. What happened if you're like a basketball fan and you like Kyrie Irving, or you're a rap fan and you like Nicki Minaj, you saw real time on how the mainstream media corrupts and twists the truth to villainize someone that is bucking away from the mainstream narrative they're trying to paint and putting you in a tiny little corner. The same thing's happening for liberal Venezuelans and liberal Iranians on how Trump is so bad that even if he does a good thing and essentially emancipates your people from a dictatorship, you're somehow the bad guy. Because right now, after the attack on Iran, you're having American liberals marching in the streets against the dictatorship of Iran being destroyed. What is this? Iran's right to a nuclear deterrent against nuclear-armed U.S. and Israel internationalist group. Okay, so they're in America, and they think the country that has their political leaders saying death to America, I want them to have a nuke because I don't like America. The same people that just don't realize that if they decide to attack the country, they just said death to. I'm a good little liberal, so when they send over the nuke that I demand they have, they're just, oh, no, we don't hit that guy. We're gonna hit, no, it's gonna be you guys. You're in New York City. Sad to say, you're the softest of all soft targets. I don't want you guys to get hit, but why do you think that them having a weapon to strike you is a good thing? And here we go, hands off Iran again, those signs. We saw hands off Venezuela almost overnight when the not invasion, when we took out their leader. This is very, very paid for. And they have another sign, defend Iran and Palestine. What about, wait, defend Iran and Palestine. I'm laughing because I don't want to cry. People are dying. But also, who's going to defend Palestine from Iran? They have no answers.
Defeat U.S. imperialism.
Against U.S. imperialism. No new war is in. No wait. No new U.S. war in the Middle East. I say World War III on the cusp. Hopefully, it's just we steamroll them. That's kind of like what it's looking like. So maybe they're cheering on what Trump is doing.
Workers, stand up, fight back!
Defend Iran, Spartacist? And this is someone that is, you are beyond an idiot. Anybody that knows anything about graphic design, again, this is like that meme of liberal memes being giant paragraphs, conservative memes just kind of being a funny one-off sentence. All these signs have too much words on it, and nobody's reading this. Especially your giant sign of like 1 million words. A poster, a sign is supposed to be a bumper sticker slogan. Stop the war. I don't know. Make America great again. Black Lives Matter. Those are very catchy slogans. Whatever the heck this is showing me you don't understand a thing about movements. Ugh. Marxists failed the test. International Communist League, 4th International. Oh my God. So you guys are communists. ICE must go. Yeah, we had the ICE protesters merge with the anti-war protesters. So no borders here, but respect their borders there. Very interesting take, but here we go. Compare New York City liberals. Predominantly white, predominantly all over 50, versus actual Iranians marching in New York City. Make Iran great again. Cheering American flags in America. It's always interesting how you have the ICE agents are much more diverse in color, in ethnicity, than the anti-ICE protesters. And again, we have the anti-Trump don't invade Iran, being all white, liberal, college-educated, versus the very, very diverse group of pro-Iran. Actually, pro-war, pro-attacking Iranians. Yeah, I think that in terms of what's happening over there, I'm more inclined to believe that they're chanting USA. Thank you, President Trump. The most liberal place in
USA, thank you.
USA, thank you. Like, yeah. They're wrapped in the original Iranian flag. This looks like that. And here's the crazy thing is they're waving that flag too. By all means, do what you want. But very curious because all the way over in Los Angeles, again, a equally liberal city, all Iranians are marching the streets with that flag again. American flags, original Iranian flags. Does this flag have a name? I always forget. But this flag again. Oh, they're doing Trump's song. I guess we can't play it too loud. But the YMCA, you see them doing the Trump dance too. They're very into this. And a comment I keep on seeing is like, can we trade all the white conservative, blue-haired liberals for the Make America Great Again Persians? Yeah. The Persian flag, is that what it is? The Persian flag? But yeah, so very stark contrast between the liberals against the war, but Iranians in New York City and in Los Angeles for the war, and even over in Iran themselves, like they're still under the regime, and they like what was it? In Venezuela when they were marching on behalf of the American forces taking out the dictator Maduro, there was still like a biker gang attacking the pro-American, not protesters, but just the marchers. Iran seems pretty happy about this. I know Ilhan Omar is against this, but honestly, no. Was it the Hells Angels over in Venezuela doing that? I was unaware. I didn't know it was a biker gang that was essentially contracted to do it for them. So what exactly are they doing on the left, and who's paying them, and why are they doing this? And
Trump in the USA! Biggest threat in the world today!
The biggest threat to what though? If you're a paid-for activist, if you're a dictator that's oppressing your own people, doing gas attacks on civilians, if you're a Democrat in office that's about to lose your ability to grift your way into power, or get or drain the U.S. taxpayer. That's who's at danger of it of Donald Trump. But average citizens seem to like this. Yeah, a bunch of old Karens. The no new war, hands off Iran. Again, we had hands off Venezuela. They're just somebody's paying for this. They're saying the drums. What is this? Pictures of the Trump administration. I'd rather be woke than comatose. Okay, Donald Trump is the most lively president we've had in, I guess, 8 years now. What was Albert Einstein doing there? Okay, but moving on. When they actually talk to these New Yorkers protesting. Play a little bit of this.
So I'm here with Jen and Sean. Hi, guys.
It says, white men ruin everything. All right.
We're in Times Square. There's a protest going on behind us about what's happening with the attacks on Iran. Jen, you got a sign there. White men ruin everything, along with other things. Tell us, why are you here? What's your thoughts?
We're sick of old white men like Donald Trump destroying the world.
Sick of old white men like Donald Trump destroying the world. But did she have a single thing to say about Biden? I doubt it.
Plain and simple. I know not all white men are bad, but the ones in power today seem to really take the cake.
Oh, okay.
And how about the old other men, like the Ayatollahs and others? Are they a problem?
The who?
The Ayatollahs and others, are they a problem?
Who's that? I don't know.
I'm here to protest on what day was this? Was this a couple days ago? I'm here to protest, but I know nothing about the region. I just wish he had a map. Say, hey, can you point out Iran on a map? Like it's a larger country in the area. Point out Iran on the map. If you cannot, with not even necessarily just guessing it right, if you cannot with 1,000,000% confidence know that's where it is, shut the fuck up.
Okay. You don't know the Ayatollah in Iran?
No.
No, okay.
Oh, you mean the president of Iran?
Or the president,
Is
yeah.
that? Oh, he's bad.
Okay.
And we do not like him, but that doesn't mean that we get to raise him.
This is kind of within the context of our country. It's all the old white men from like.
Oh, again, it's just racism and self-hatred. It's not about can we make the area better? Can we save the Persians from an oppressive regime? Or is it, can we just keep up the theme of racism and hate and sexism?
Even pre-boomers, post-World War II, that are just here and they have no business being in power. They have hateful values.
I mean, you just because you call it hateful doesn't mean it's hateful. And most of Americans wanted him in office, so I would say he does have a business being in power.
They do not have any morale. All of that it went away years ago because of the Republican Party and the Heritage Foundation first putting Reagan into office all the way back then. This has been in the works for years and decades now, but it's really happening now.
I really wonder how much of an overlap there was from Ronald Reagan's and his policies and Donald Trump and his policies, because let's be clear, you take most of the quotes about the border security, about Middle East, not what they did. I'm talking about Obama, Joe Biden, like Senator Joe Biden and President Obama. What they did and said in office about the border, them taking jobs, and them trying to skipping the line and being here and committing crimes. Even Governor Gavin Newsom saying about illegal immigrants committing crime in America. All those values or all those things they've said essentially are the same thing that Donald Trump says and does right now. So he's trying to compare Donald Trump with Ronald Reagan and the Heritage Foundation, which what's that thing, chat? The Operation 45 or whatever it was, like the book is like, oh, here's all the crazy racist things that MAGA is going to do when they get in office. It's like, yeah, it had nothing to do with him. But the idea is Trump is just basically, like, socially a liberal from early 2000s, like 2000 to 2010. Project 2025, exactly, yeah. Thank you. Donald Trump is a Democrat from the year 2000. And now he's trying to say, well, because white men, we're just going to put them all in the same tank together. It's very sad. So you see them being like, who's the Ayatollah? And then you got an actual Iranian over there saying, hey, we're outside the White House, and they're loving what Donald Trump is doing. And there's so many based Iranians right now, and people that were Democrat by default, peeling away from the Democrat Party. It's just glorious to see all this.
Iran today is free again. This is what Iranian wants. Freedom. They want to have a choice. They want to have a voice to present themselves. We want to tell the world that we are not Islamic Republic. We are Iranian. We are friends of...
And you know what? That might be a lot to do with this, because, you know, we saw the same thing in Venezuela. Oh, we don't like the dictator, people in tears. Oh my God, my family fled the dictatorship, and now we love America, and we love the fact they took out the dictator, even though it was an illegal war, an illegal attack, whatever. They say we're not the Islamic Republic, and yet is New York City trying to vote their way into what Iran was a week ago? Maybe that actually solves a lot of why I don't understand why they're protesting this, because they want that for themselves. Again, very strange for the liberal Democrat Party with all their progressive values, but we might have cracked the case right now.
The West, the East, the whole world.
Dozens marched from the World War I memorial.
So that was that guy talking. But then you have compare a man that likely lived underneath the oppressive regime with a college liberal.
Streets of New York today after just last night, the U.S. and Israel coordinated an attack on the people of Iran, an attack which targeted an elementary school.
Again, they're all just citing what, you know, ABC repeated it and the UK's Telegraph repeated it, but it was what basically state-sponsored media said over there, and they only heard that from a local governor. The attack occurred, but it wouldn't be for the first time they've attacked their own people, and again, I don't really trust what's happening out of them. If we attacked, also, our allies have been known to do this, so I wouldn't put it past them. And so it's a terrible atrocity. We should condemn it, but also I don't know if I believe it quite yet.
Claiming the lives of now 82 schoolgirls as martyrs. We know that this comes off the heels of 2.5 years of brutal, depraved U.S.-Israeli genocide against our people in Gaza, where they targeted our schools, where they...
Again, the Palestinian Authority has condemned Iran's, not counterattacks, but who they've been shelling recently, and she's trying to represent them, but also they represent the American interests in this scenario.
Targeted our journalists, where they targeted our people, and we see this as an extension of the new Middle East they're trying to create, a new Middle East that we reject.
We reject, but the Iranians love. Again, here's a white college-educated liberal, not white, but a college-educated liberal saying, I've only lived in the capitalist utopia that is America. I live in New York City, a metropolitan area that doesn't produce its own food, that doesn't produce its own, essentially anything to sustain their life. They just are professional protesters, activists, or students. They are going to tell you in Iran how to live your life.
For liberation for all the people of our region.
Yeah, liberation from what? From the dictator? From the oppressive regime? Or from mean feelings you heard on social media?
An end to U.S.-Israeli terror in our region, and we will keep fighting. We will keep taking to these streets until...
We will keep on fighting. We'll keep taking to the streets. That's not the same freaking thing. If you were going to be fighting, you are a military-age person, you know... There are women that fight. We just saw a woman in a F-15 get taken down. Do you mean fighting in the literal phrase that you're so passionate about this, you're gonna go grab an M16 and go out there and fight the oppressive American forces? Or you mean fighting, you're gonna post some stuff on Instagram, you're gonna have some slogans, you're gonna buy a t-shirt and you're gonna go on social media and yell into the camera. If that's your version of fighting, then you don't mean anything.
Palestine is free until we have hands off Iran and hands off Gaza.
Hands off Gaza by stopping Iran from bombing Gaza would be the solution, but again, I don't think they know what they're talking about. Here's the last one.
Living under dictatorship.
We are?
We are.
Oh shit, I didn't know. What brings you out here today?
Support, war, I'm against the war.
Again, I think she's the paid-for supporter, I think. With your hands off Iran, like the same thing, your hands off of Venezuela, same thing. I think this is a job for them. This is like me, times getting hard and picking up a shift at a coffee shop. It's not because I'm passionate about serving coffee. It's because I got bills to pay, and I think that's what we're watching right now.
War-torn country.
Yeah.
War happened when Yugoslavia fell apart. So I'm here to support humanity.
Yeah.
It's
the humanity of, like, does she even know what the regime did over there?
Enough of killing children and innocent people, because whoever is in power, it's not they're going to be safe. But who's getting killed is innocent people.
Yeah. Would you say that you're supportive of the Iranian regime, or where exactly does your support lie?
My support, where it lies, is in humanity. We shouldn't be...
Okay, that's her talking point. Humanity, nothing beyond that. I'm sick of listening to her. But then, it's actually going down to Boston, or going up to Boston.
Boots on the ground, no bombs in the air. No boots on the ground.
I'm sure your song is going to help win the war.
No bombs in the air. U.S. out of everywhere. U.S. out of everywhere.
And the fact that they have the drums, they have the paid-for signs, the same exact slogans, makes me feel like this is just another part of the paid-for protest over there. Because, you see, what is this? Over in Chicago, what is it, Code Pink? Again, I think it's a feminist organization sponsoring this over there.
From the belly of the beast. Hands off the Middle East. Shit's around.
And stop the war in Iran, no new war in the U.S. Oh, it's the same exact sign. So somebody's paying for it to be in New York City, Los Angeles, over in Boston, now up in Chicago. But what is it? Over in, oh yeah, this is Chicago again.
We're here to protest against a war with Iran because we know that it's not for the people of Iran.
The people of Iran beg to differ. Whoever's paying you might say the other thing, but here they are waving the flag of the Islamic Republic instead of the Persian flag.
It's not for anyone else's benefit except for the imperialist power of the U.S. So we're here to say no to war with Iran. Stand up, fight back!
Yeah, we're smart. They're not fighting. They're not fighting. They're posting on social media. It's crazy because maybe when they say they represent Iranians, maybe they mean these individuals because they're okay. Let's be honest. There's been a whole lot of celebrations. Australia, Canada, all across America, and in Iran. There are some people that are upset at the attacks. Some Iranians mourn the death of Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei. I can't pronounce his name.
We are going to rip them apart, hold these people accountable. We're going to rip them apart.
Who's we? Because I don't think it's going to be you. I'm not saying there aren't individuals that are willing to do atrocities on your behalf, but I honestly, it's kind of weird when they keep on saying, we're fighting, we're going to do this thing, when I don't know if it's actually what they mean.
They're being out of line. Martyrdom is our honor. It's our right and our leaders' unquestionable
Okay,
right.
that actually scares me then, saying they want to be martyred. That's actually terrifying to me. Okay, I take it back. I think those college-educated liberals in America saying we're going to fight while they're getting T-shirts and posters and marching in the streets for every single left-wing movement they've been told to. But somebody like this saying, oh, I want to be martyred. Okay, you actually terrify me. Never mind, I take that back.
Rights to be martyred, but they're being out of line.
So all these women in their religious garb, by all means, if this is their choice, that's what they want. Exercise your freedom of religion, even though over there you don't have freedom of religion unless it's that religion. But why are they always protesting on behalf? These people protesting on behalf of these people when they're constantly out there marching. What is this? Handmaid's Tale March. This is 2025, but there's a whole bunch of videos I gotta show you. But they're always putting this garb on.
We say no.
Oh, this is anti-ICE protests. Okay, they're anti-Trump protests. Anti-Trump protests. But who looks more like this? Then is this what Trump's doing to people? Or is this the thing that Trump is trying to eradicate from a country that is only 37% of the population, but enforces it through force and death? I don't know, but then you have this, and I'll cover this delicately over here.
How'd you hear about this protest?
We have group chats where we communicate, like independently organize, picket, make.
So, by all means, if you want to be a part of the T and the LGBT movement, do what makes you happy. You're an adult, whatever. I just find not the irony, but I don't know. I guess it's irony of the idea that this person is obviously in the tea movement, and they would not be welcome amongst this movement. They keep on thinking that they can go there and they'll be met with open arms, but this is spooky what's happening in America. No, if you are this person who is obviously this, you need to be terrified of this coming to America, this coming to New York City and bringing in that law here. Because you will not be able to exist. The whole liberal movement will not be able to exist underneath a very, very staunchly religious regime. Donald Trump just dethroned them and took it out, but then the left somehow thinks this is a bad thing for them. It is insane. Isn't it already New York City? It already is. It's going to get bad. Because you have this person saying, we want rights. We want to be able to have Iran be free from American imperialism. And then you have Iranians saying, giving them a reality check. This is so incredibly based.
The Islamic regime so that I could be here in sunny California.
Oh no, we missed it for a second.
Both of my parents escaped the Islamic regime so that I could be here in sunny California right now in a sports bra, in athleisure, going for a leisurely hike at 1 p.m. without having to fear being beaten,
with
killed,
no male
or
escort.
Meanwhile, the people of Iran are in the streets being massacred for this sense of normalcy. And as much as I want to enjoy this...
Because remember, there was 20,000 or 30,000 of them, not even peacefully protesting because they were getting run over by their police, but 30,000 of them allegedly lost their lives from the regime. Americans don't seem to care about that. They just care that Trump is bad, so everything he does has to be protested.
This hike, I can't stop thinking about the people of Iran. My heart is with you, and I pray for you to no longer live in fear every time you leave your homes. Yeah,
so she's for this, and yet this person is saying it's a bad thing that you have these rights. Very, very reverse. But then, Brandon Straka saying, reports say billionaire Neville Roy Singham, who has business ties to China, provided $20 million to the People's Forum, a non-governmental organization that organized a protest speech in New York criticizing President Trump's military strike on Iran. Is this not Democrats versus Republicans? Is it actually Americans, Venezuelans, Iranians versus Chinese? They're propagandists. They're easily fooled puppets and everything downstream of that.
Which has filled mass graves on every continent in this world, become the country that gets to say what weapons are in whose arsenals. I am so tired of listening to these liars tell us that other countries are the threat when it is our government that shoots us in the streets.
Who's us?
It is our government that kidnaps children here.
All these lies, it's not just they didn't go after Renee Good, they didn't go after Preddy because they were stopping a fight or dropping off their kid at school. They got ended because they were actively fighting ICE when they're impeding an arrest and actually hitting ICE officers with their car, bringing a handgun and fighting them in the street. They keep on saying that, oh, they're doing these terrible things to protesters, that they're killing us, when it's not us. It's just antagonizers that got brainwashed and were used as useful idiots and paid the ultimate price to be a pawn in the Democrats' agenda. They're saying they're kidnapping kids, again, falsely framing narratives where it's like, what was it? The 2 separate instances of an illegal immigrant fleeing law enforcement and leaving their kid behind just so they can run away, and then later saying they use them as bait. It's like, no, we have your kid. Someone come collect the kid, and we also arresting you because you have an outstanding warrant. Like, they can't compute it. They just try to make it into a bumper sticker thin argument and say they're kidnapping kids. Again, he's just prattling off all this propaganda. But it's more concerning that is he prattling off propaganda and also paying people $20 million of what could be conceivably Chinese money to also be the next Renee Good or Alex Preddy.
Our government that is bombing and starving children in Gaza, children in Cuba, children in Iran. Are you sick of it? I'm sick of it. This is not going to change until we decide.
I don't think you can do much about
This
this.
is not going to change.
Every single march and movement that the left has had in the last decade has not moved the needle on anything.
Until we move as one in a movement to transform this country. This is not going to change because we marched one day.
You know what? Someone said, look at his shirt. Yes, it says U.S. out of Korea, meaning Korea they just got rid of their old president. Again, I'm not the most well-read about it, but Korea had a president that was against the Chinese takeover over their country. They've essentially imprisoned him for life. And a lot of people say the liberal movement in Korea is actually Chinese influence trying to take over Korea through, not necessarily through North Korea, but through like 5th generational warfare, propaganda, cyber warfare, algorithms. It makes me wonder, if you get the US out of Korea, it's ripe for the taking by China. Is this guy Korean? I don't know, Neville Roy Singham? That almost seems like an Indian name. But is this possibly just China trying to say, let's get some useful idiots to repeat our propaganda so everything's right for the taking? Because remember, taking Venezuela and taking Iran is hurting China the most in their abilities to get oil and Russia's ability to get cheap weapons. Kind of seems like you're not in U.S. interests, but trying to frame it as it is and then paying potentially $20 million to get people to buy onto it.
This is not going to change because you voted 1 year. This is going to change if you commit the rest of your life.
Oh, you gotta become our pawns for life. We have to own you forever because I say so.
To making that happen, will you do that?
Wow, this is like pledging your allegiance to this. This is scary because not only are they saying, yes, we're going to do it, I'll buy your shirt and I'll believe all the things you do and you vote. They're actually going out there. Eugene, Oregon, they're a anti-U.S. intervention in Iran protest. I'm not going to play this, but it's basically a car comes up on this blockade. They have American flag upside down. They're carrying trash cans. And as they try to drive on the street and not get surrounded and potentially pull from their car and violently ended, they pulled through, but they got their car beaten on from these anti-war activists attacking their own citizens. And again, this is them saying they're bombing and starving the kids in Iran. Listen to actual Iranians saying, you guys are upset about them they're ending us, they're attacking us in the streets. No. This guy is incredibly based, my favorite clip of the day.
Why are you talking about the ICE, that one single woman that died, that came in front of ICE? I don't understand where you guys want to take this with Gaza and Hamas and the Islamic Republic of Iran. Neither of you have lived under the Islamic Republic tyranny that you guys are talking about the death of one single woman that have came in front of an ICE agent, a police, and you guys are talking about you guys have human rights.
I'm saying she didn't deserve it, but she definitely created the scenario, the circumstances that caused it.
You guys have everything that you need in your life. Our lives have been taken away from us. You guys have everything, and you guys once have one president.
Well, it's like they've never had to fight for anything. It's just turning boredom into activism as they're useful idiots. If someone doesn't have meaning or essentially hobbies or anything good in their life, you can take that anger and mold it into whatever you want. It's sad to say, and I don't like to even phrase this, but it's like, when you see these activists in the streets, you know they didn't just land their dream job. You know they aren't about to go on, I even hate saying this, you know they're not going to go on a date with their crush they've had for several years or even a month or whatever. You know they don't have lots of stuff to look forward to, otherwise they would be doing something. They were able to turn their boredom, anger, and lack of purpose into being their useful idiots and their pawn that will sacrifice everything because some nefarious country was able to pour millions of dollars into turning idiots into, I would say, activists, but no, idiots into insurgents at this point in time. Here's a guy basically saying, you guys don't actually have any virtues, you're just useful idiots.
In your country that wants the best for the people of America that have built the land for 250 years. America has a right to have a country. America has a right to have a country as much as Iranians have a right to have a country. So let's get the facts right here. All right? Let's not get ourselves lost in this illusion that you guys have been building for us, for people. All right, Mr. Mark Ruff.
But he's pissed off, but it's actually talking to these people directly. And now you have, I think this is in Los Angeles, but somebody that you would see as Democrat by default finally having his red pill moment as to who the Democrats really are, because he is an Iranian now wearing a Make America Great Again hat.
How can you be silent? This is not okay. I'm no longer going to support Democrats. You Iranians, none of you should support Democrats. I'm honest. Honestly, I'm livid. I'm livid. I'm done with them completely. Just acknowledge the truth. Islamist Marxism is a terrorist entity.
And the thing is, like, I'm certain he could not live his preferred style of life under the regime that was there. Donald Trump and America has essentially freed him to be who he wants to be in Iran. I don't think Donald Trump is like this spooky, racist, sexist person they're trying to portray him as. I think he's rooting for this person. On all his speeches, he's saying, Iranians, this is for you. Take over your country. This is your only opportunity to do it. This is a red pill moment for him where it's like, yeah, everybody's told me he's a racist, sexist, bigot. And now they're trying to tell him, get back in your box. You're a minority. The Democrats own you. Get back on track of supporting us regardless of what you see in your face. Iranians just had a red pill moment. The Venezuelans just had a red pill moment. I'm certain people in Mexico that are against the cartels had their red pill moment. They say these last three things he's done, taking out the Ayatollah, taking out the dictator Maduro, taking out a cartel leader. These are evil, angry things, and they're making Donald Trump a imperialist dictator. No, they appreciate this, and they finally see it for what it is. It's not because Trump does bad stuff. It's because whatever Trump does has to be bad, even if it means you and your people have to suffer as convenient little pawns on behalf of the Democrat Party. The same thing happened, I'll even go way back to during the COVID times when you had Kyrie Irving, Nicki Minaj. If you're a basketball fan, you're a rap fan, you quickly understood, wait, I saw Kyrie Irving. He was just playing basketball. He can play in every other state, every other city, every other country. I'm saying Canada. But as soon as he comes back to Brooklyn, because New York City has these vaccine mandates, he can't play with them. He can train with them, travel with them, play with them in other states, but then he can't play on the court with the Nets because he doesn't have a vaccine card. He can buy a front row ticket and appear courtside maskless, get in the same car with them, get the same play with them afterwards, but the Democrat agenda, you had Charles Barkley, you had all the people on the NBA trying to say Kyrie Irving is a evil, selfish person because he wants to make your grandma sick. Nicki Minaj just said, hey, my cousin had an adverse reaction to getting the dose. Like Nicki Minaj called out, they rolled out their I think it was Joy Reid or MSNBC's or CNN's, the only black woman they had on in their roster to call out Nicki Minaj to talk trash about her. Nicki Minaj called it out where it's like, wait, it's not because I'm against the vaccine. I just wanted to say there's a side effect, and the entire establishment came down on me. Red pill moment for rap fans, red pill moment for NBA fans, red pill moment for Venezuelans and Iranians. I think every single day the Democrats have to be the party of anti-Trump regardless of what he does good in the world, are getting red pilled against them. And the only chance they have, the Democrats at this point in time, when they're losing all the minorities, everybody in the world, and everybody's on his side, they have to buy the votes of illegals by granting them amnesty, granting them free housing, free EBT benefits, free everything, and saying, you vote for us or Trump sends you away. That's all they got now. But back to this. We got sidetracked.
90 million Iranians held hostage for 47 years because of your silence. American people, this is not about being politically correct. This is not about Islam. This is not about religion. This is about a cult. I beg you, I urge everyone, Democrat, Republican, please stand for people of Iran. This time, please stand by us. I beg you. I beg you.
And here's a person, they've lost his support forever. Just like when we saw over in what was I just looking at? The atrocity that occurred over in Austin, Texas, when there's a video, you can play it here at all, but it was all the what looks like liberal college students in Austin, Texas, giving CPR to their friends. Like the one girl was giving CPR to her friend on the ground. It's terrible to look at. And the person looks pretty deceased to me. She's saying, please, somebody help me. Somebody help me. This isn't helping. Somebody help me. That is somebody that just got an eye-opening moment to the fact that, yes, there is a certain subset of people, not all of them, but there is a subset of people that are committing acts of terror. Just because the Democrats say, well, you know what, we don't want innocent people a part of that movement to be targeted, so we're just going to go ahead and ignore this. That is forever going to red pill them, their family, and everybody they know forever. And get like if they want MAGA conservatives before, they're essentially going to become the biggest MAGA people ever because life hits you hard sometimes. And you got this, what is it, a change has been happening. There's a lot of people swinging on to the right now.
With a message for every single Iranian here, with a message for every single American who voted for President Trump. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. God bless President Trump. God bless the U.S. military.
And imagine 6 months ago, you coming out on what is this, Instagram saying, God bless America, God bless the American military. You'd be eaten alive by your group. But now you've seen what they can do in reality. Not what the media will say about you, but what actually is happening.
God bless America. We can't wait until Iran is free and we can welcome you back to our country with open arms and be the allies that we used to be before the Islamic regime took over our country in 1979. That's it. Thank you.
Yep. The tides are changing. Things are shifting over there. Again, there's a lot more, but it's like people thanking them. It's crazy. Like, yeah, what is this? The crazy part is the Iranians chanting, Trump, thank you, Bibi, thank you. I mean, there's the flag again.
Thank you! Thank you! Thank you! Thank you!
They're free to protest how they'd like. If that's what they want to say, that's what they can say. Yes, Iranians, this is the Trump dance. They're all about it. Again, what is it? Oh yeah, these three flags that were never supposed to be seen in the same sentence together. Yeah. This is a big moment because I'm even hearing, what is it? The Palestinian Authority saying they condemn the Iranian attacks, not the Persian flag, but the Iranian or Islamic flag. They're against them too. This is the real world, not what the media wants to tell you. The crazy part is the media was originally resisting this messaging coming out. Like you see this, a CBS reporter being told, don't focus on how the bulk of everybody is happy about this. This isn't protests, these are celebrations.
What does that mean? It means they don't want us to focus on this.
We're telling them don't focus on the fact that they're protest or they're celebrating Donald Trump and the U.S. military. The CBS Austin apparently wasn't there to report on the news, to inform you of what's really happening on how this is impacting Iranians. This is just them saying, we have a narrative to paint. Keep on painting it. If we have to put the blinders on our viewers and make them dumber for having had watched CBS Austin, they're fine with it.
Mixed opinions across Austin about the joint attack between the United States and Israel against Iran that happened early this morning. Some people, like this group behind me, are thanking Trump and the United States government for following through with this attack.
Yeah, why wouldn't you just tell them, hey, this is what they're saying? Doesn't mean they're right. You can talk to anti-Trump protesters too and just have them have their voices be heard because you're there to report the news. Doesn't mean you agree with it. But if you're so afraid of the truth, you need to lie by omission. You've lost. This is just propaganda at that point.
Against Iran, while other people across the city say there needs to be more peace in the Middle East. The strike is drawing a variety of...
Yeah, I think they... Oh my god, that was loud. They had to abruptly cut him off because they're afraid of it. But now you're starting to see CBS, this looks like the national coverage, has to admit, hey, people like this.
The Iranian people, what are you hearing from them tonight? We know they're celebrating. What's the feeling?
It's an incredible dissonance that they had to choose war over a regime, but they were willing to do it. Thank you, Donald Trump. Thank you, Benjamin Netanyahu. Thank you, America. It's not death to America after they killed the leader. The Americans and the Israelis did it. It's not death to Israel and death to America. It's thank you. It's a new day dawning, but very early days. Very, very early days. So we'll have to see what comes. But it's the Iranian people that have been telling me over and over and over again, we want this. We're not regimists. We're not Islamic.
Exactly. Like, you can say things about, hey, China does bad things. The CCP is bad. But you can still like Chinese people. You can still support them. Like, we are not our government. The same thing with Joe Biden. When he was in office, I didn't like him. I didn't like a lot of the things he did. Still made me love America and love my neighbors. But it is crazy on how it's almost hard for them to admit they like what Trump's doing. What is this? NBC Bay Area. Same thing.
Iranian Americans letting out a sigh of relief to the reported killing of Iran's supreme leader. NBC Bay Area's Marianne Favreau was at the demonstration at San Jose City Hall. She joins us in the newsroom with the details. Marianne.
Gia, the demonstration at City Hall today was actually a celebration. Some told us this was something.
This demonstration was actually a celebration, as if they already knew their framing was wrong.
They have waited 47 years for. Draped in flags, more than 250 Iranian Americans celebrated at San Jose City Hall this afternoon.
Again,
with
a
many
liberal
hugging
city.
and dancing as they reacted to what they consider the ouster of the Iranian Islamic regime. Many here also say they consider President Trump a hero for ordering the military strike.
For 47 years, many times Iranian people tried to take over and get rid of these mullahs, and they never had a chance because some governments always protecting them from fall. But now, with the, with the help of Netanyahu and his persistence, President Trump decided to make that happen.
Some told us they finally have hope that Iranian people will be able to enjoy the same freedoms Americans have. Some voiced support for Prince Reza.
Where are all the white college-educated liberals and the old white ladies that come into all the liberal protests?
Pahlavi to become Iran's new leader. Others we spoke with say they haven't been able to return home to see their families in Iran for decades. And they say they're hoping a change of leadership in Iran will help them finally reunite with their loved ones.
Not what they want to say. And then full circle is CNN basically saying, hey, you guys keep on being the party of anti-Trump, the Democrats, you need to listen, you need to read the room. You can't do that anymore.
I think that it is imperative the Democratic Party wake up and get past their dislike of Donald Trump, the President Trump, and their feelings of international conflicts going on. This is about national security. This is about what is possible in the Middle East. This is about being a good neighbor, good partner to the Gulf states and what their aspirations are. This is about...
It's like when they have all those signs saying hands off Iran, it's like hands off of the oppressive regime or the people, because they just don't care if they get sacrificed. Because obviously those protesters don't care if they get martyred. So now they're just offering up the goodwill of Iranian citizens now.
Supporting the people of Venezuela. This is about dismembering our relationship with, or not dismembering, but resetting our relationship with China. Right now, 55% of the oil production that Iran produces goes to China despite sanctions. You want to support the people of Ukraine. You want to end that war. You have to. There is no getting around dismembering this Islamic Republic. It is non-negotiable. It is not a want to have. It is a have to have. And it's not just for the Iranian people. I think you have to trust the Iranian people. We know this government better than anyone else. When you dismember and decapitate this regime, you are going to see a change in the Middle East, in Venezuela, in China, in Ukraine. And I think, quite frankly, their ideology has it's caused a lot of problems for us worldwide. We need to take it seriously. And I think at this point, we have a tremendous opportunity. This will be like ending the Soviet Union, the Berlin Wall. This is a transformational moment for humankind, for security. And they
look so pissed at this. Why are we giving her airtime?
an American, this is in our interest to complete it. So I am a Democrat. I have been a huge Democrat. I am incredibly disappointed with my party. I do not see myself in them in this moment.
Yes.
Moj and Masi.
They just got reamed right now, but it's true because not only they're talking about Venezuela, Iran, but they're also showing that now apparently in Miami, which who knows, this could be old footage. I'm seeing a lot of stuff, people getting duped out there, but now they're saying major caravan in support of Trump's effort to liberate Cuba. There was even a video that turned out to be AI of Cubans saying, please attack us next to free us. But I mean, I think the tides are finally turning. People are not buying onto the official narrative. I think in that little slew of videos I had, how many people were saying, I used to be a Democrat and no longer am I a Democrat by default. You no longer have my party. I'm disappointed in you because it was a red pill moment for them. They can lie about all the stuff you don't know. Oh, what happened in Minneapolis? What happened with ICE protests? What happened at the southern border? Things that aren't hitting home for you. But once they do something that is you are an expert in, what happened in Iran? What happened in Venezuela? I keep on saying Kyrie Irving, NBA, rap music with Nicki Minaj. You can be blind to what the Democrats' games are and how the propaganda from the left-wing media is out there to fool you. But once you are an expert, a subject matter expert, you've lost them forever, and they're starting to run out of runway. And I think, obviously, the Democrats, their only way out of this is if they can essentially buy the votes by granting amnesty to every single illegal that's in this country and saying, if you vote for us in perpetuity, we will give you citizenship, we will give you a home, we'll give you EBT cards, we'll give you pocket money, we will give you more rights than American citizens that have been here forever. But if you vote against us, you're going back home. That's their only way they can maintain their control over America. I'm a scholar of the far right, yeah. The left doesn't want representation in the democracy. They want to rule over everybody else with their own Karenocracy. Yes. Oh, thanks for the prime sub, Duke Pounder. Yeah, Massachusetts. I mean, a lot of these liberal states is like, it's sad where you see over in Chicago. I remember when the open borders were a crisis, and you had Texas and you had Florida taking in all these immigrants. Texas, and I'm sorry, not Texas and Florida. Texas and Arizona taking in all the immigrants. Texas in teaming up with Florida. I think Texas got the immigrants, and then Florida flew them from there to all the way over to Chicago. It was only like a couple bus loads or plane loads of them, but they immediately overran Chicago. You had Black Americans showing out on TV, going to city council meetings saying, how dare you take our rec center that was for the kids and turned it into an illegal immigrant holding zone or something. Like wait, this is our community center. Like, we paid for it with our taxes, and all of a sudden we're realizing they get more EBT benefits and SNAP benefits than us. They were upset about it, but it never made the Democrats' agenda more apparent than when they actually saw it from their own eyes. They knew that, like, Texas and Arizona, those are racist states because they don't want to keep open borders. But once it actually impacted themselves, then they knew. Same thing that happened over in Martha's Vineyard, where they're all pro-immigration, but they got one bus of them. They freaked out and had them deported within the day. Yeah, it's wild on how much they had no money for Americans, no money for veterans, homelessness. But suddenly we have all this free housing to provide to other people. It's wild. I think they're doing the same thing in the UK too. Saying, crazy how you're epileptic and don't qualify even though you've had seizure of the job and multiple jobs. Yep. It's crazy how you fell, an American disabled person fell to the bottom of the pecking order so they can buy easy to get votes. It's sad. Yeah, UK's done. UK's done. There's nothing you can do to fix them. What? Guess we should pop back on. Because we're not on. We had a couple more topics. Let's see. What's happening with the ICE protests? Possible sleeper cells in California issues. I don't know, chat. What do you think? Who's Rupert Lowe? Is that somebody that's running over in the UK, the Reform Party? I mean, that's the thing is, I thought Canada had an issue, had an opportunity to bring their country back as well with that guy. Who's that guy? He has a Pierre Poilievre, I think. I think Pierre Poilievre could save Canada, and all of a sudden he went down this anti-Trump shtick and then lost even his seat in what was like their parliament or their version of Congress. Not Reform Restore Party? Okay. Trump and Lowe? Okay, Rupert Lowe. Let's check this guy out. I'm not going to scroll on Twitter live. We gotta figure it out. Let's see. Robert. Wait. Let's see. Is there news about him I can look up? Okay, so he's the Restore Britain Party. Since he has an official Twitter account, I imagine it's not going to be like crazy violent stuff on his feed. Canada is hopeless, yeah. Yeah, it's not this pinned comment, but so a Restore Britain government would prosecute public officials who knowingly place unvetted illegals and S-pests in accommodation near schools and nurseries. Anyone who deliberately placed kids at risk must face legal consequences. I'm not over there, can't vote, but he's got my support. This is no nonsense right here. Like, anybody that ran on this in America, even though we don't have the same issue to their extent, that's like that's not an 80-20 issue. That's a 100-0 issue. Why would you not prosecute people that put our kids at risk? How could anybody be against this? Watch the Restore founding vid. Is there a Restore Party founding video? Nah, these are all memes. These are all memes and violent things. Oh my god, somebody's got to fix the Twitter feed, because every single time there's like a trending search term, someone's gonna put some garbage like crypto scam on there. Oh, here's Restore Britain coin, and here's how you invest. Like, it's so ridiculous. I hate it so much. The Restore announcement video. Okay, one more chance to try to find it. There's 50,000 members. It doesn't seem like there's... Oh, okay, wait, it's Robert... Okay, yeah, okay, here it is. It's a 7-minute long video? Alright. Restore Britain. Actually, real quick, I should just seek through it to make sure there's nothing crazy. Okay, it's just this guy talking, so I think we're gonna be okay. Everything American leftists are against. This sounds like spooky conservatism to me.
This is the England I know, and this is the England that I love.
Instead of if you were to say, I want to travel to England, that's what you're thinking about. Oh, I want to go to London. You're not thinking, I want to go to London. Now let me feel like I'm in Pakistan. When you say, I want to go to Japan, you want to go be amongst the Japanese. Not because they're superior than anybody, but just the idea that you want to, like, people say, keep Japan is somehow racist, but it's like, no, you go there because you want to be in that culture. This is the culture you think about, but I feel like when you get too much of unchecked, unvetted mass migration, you lose your identity, and somehow that's a bad thing. Whatever happened to, you can't bomb stolen land, or imperialism's taken over the land. These are the indigenous British people. How come you can't protect this culture?
On a farm, you don't think in election cycles or headlines or polling. You think in seasons. You think in generations, in what you leave behind to those who come after you. And that's why, here on the farm, I am now launching Restore Britain as a national political party. I'm now going to dedicate my life to finding, organizing, funding.
What is it? Society can only prosper when old men plant trees they'll never lay in. I can almost, not guarantee, but I can see this man. Looks like he has land. Looks like he has wealth. He could probably live out the rest of his days enjoying the Britain that he knows on his property. Eventually, the taxes are going to take it away after he passes away, and then Britain is going to become whatever globalist nightmare they're trying to make it. But for conservative men to say, I'm going to try to save a country that I won't get to enjoy the fruits of my labor is the only thing that saves us. He wants to be British Elon? Okay. Oh, keep going, he gets more based? All right.
Providing hundreds of qualified...
The thing is, nobody in there did he say career politicians, people that went to college forever, said socialism is the way, and became career mooches off the British taxpayer by collecting their funds. Oh, these were people that actually contributed to society, were in the communities, know what the actual British people are, or what is ailing them. No more career politicians, no more professional leeches on society. Yeah, he has my support.
Real communities up and down the country. Every single one will be from well outside the existing political establishment, and every single one will understand the difficult decisions that need to be taken, because there are no easy fixes.
And everything that this party does is going to be slammed in the media. They're going to be called racist. They're going to come after them in their personal life. Like, this is kind of ironically the first people that signed the Declaration of Independence. I think all of them suffered horrible ends and didn't get to see the fruits of their labor. Everybody in this Reform Party is going to suffer the same fate, ironically, in the UK.
I'm not going to tell you comforting lies about the condition of our country. I have only ever been honest with the British people, and I will be straight with you now. What is necessary will be incredibly painful.
Yes.
But for the first time in a very long time, voters will have a genuine alternative which is truthful with them about the scale of what now has to be done. The first priority is to control who comes to our country.
Strong borders.
And more importantly, who stays in our country.
Strong rules
Restore
about
Britain.
that. Like, I mean, this is the same thing we're doing in America. This is make Britain great again. MABA? All right.
Will not just stop mass immigration, we will reverse it.
This is what Trump ran on.
Every single illegal migrant will be securely detained and then deported. The message will be unrelenting. If you are in this country without our permission, you will be removed.
Every country does
this. For the foreseeable future, far more people must leave Britain than arrive.
Negative net migration. America just did it.
If a foreign national is unable to speak English, lives in social housing, claims benefits, refuses to work, fails to integrate, commits crime, or even actively hates our way of life and wishes to do us harm, then they must leave or be made to leave.
Incredibly based. I love this guy. How come this can't be me? How come we can't get that in America? Where it's like, yes, Trump is getting strong borders, he's deporting criminals, he's getting the people that are seen collaterally with people they're looking for. But I love this, where it's like, if you are just on welfare, you've been here ever since you become a citizen, you're still on welfare, immediately gone. If you've been here for years and you won't learn the language or assimilate, immediately gone. If you're on Twitter saying negative things about people in party, whether it's Biden or Trump, and you are someone that is on here on a visa, immediately gone. It's sad how he even knows before he says it. This is going to be very, very difficult. It's going to be criticized. He knows what he's saying is unpopular to the media, to the global elites, but incredibly based, incredibly rational. This guy needs to have the best security money can buy.
Restore Britain will make our communities safe again.
Yes.
For women and children.
Yes.
That, I promise.
And why is that controversial?
If that means millions go, then millions go.
Exactly.
We're constantly told that the economy needs vast swathes of low-skilled migrants.
And the sad part is, it's like, how quick do they say they go from, unlimited border crossings, no ICE to protect my serfs. Like, how many of those old white ladies you see on television, they're liberals, saying, they're getting rid of our fruit pickers at the farmer's market. My housekeeper didn't show up to work today. It's like, do you see them as human beings, or do you see them as the serf class? Very, very scary. And the idea that it is wild. It is wild that they say replacement, a whole bunch of words in the middle, a lot of words in the middle, theory is not real. When all I saw when I was a kid is, don't have too many kids. It's bad for the environment. Too many kids is bad. And then all the Roe v. Wade nonsense that gets shoved down your throat. And now it's population collapse is inevitable. We need 1 million unvetted migrants in our country to save us from population collapse. It almost seems like it was on purpose. Again, tinfoil hat theory, but it kind of seems like it's happening everywhere. And again, it's not happening anywhere that isn't a Western, predominantly white nation. It's only in those nations. It's not anywhere else in the world.
We know that's simply not true. What we need is to get millions of healthy Brits back into work.
You see, I'm for getting them off of social benefits, but I'm also for getting the majority of able-bodied Americans off social benefits. I know a lot of people. I lived in LA a long time, and even people I met outside of LA, a lot of them are just taking advantage of the government. They could work, they don't work, and they become activists in the meantime. And it's like, yeah, I can't be subsidizing with my tax dollars your wish for America to be dismantled. It makes no sense. We got to fix the system. Again, I think SNAP is supplemental nutrition assistance program. Not so they can buy caviar and buy steaks from Albertsons. No, SNAP should give them Nutriloaf, what they give to prisoners in prison. It's this disgusting little bread loaf thing that has all the protein and all the nutrients you need. Supplemental nutrition assistance. That's what they should get. They should not be able to go to Walmart and eat finer dining than I've ever seen in my college life because they can dupe the system into giving them extra money. No. Nutriloaf for all, get them back to work. And like that one lady saying, Donald Trump's cutting my SNAP. You don't want my kid to have a popsicle? Conservatives don't want my kid to have nice things? It's like, no, I want your kid to have nice things. I just want you to pay for them.
Radical overhaul of how welfare is delivered. Protecting those in genuine need, but not funding healthy shirkers.
Healthy shirkers. I need to use that in my vocabulary. Healthy shirkers.
If you can work, you must work. It really is that simple. Restore Britain will be abundantly clear.
And it's kind of funny. It's like, if you can work, you must work. It kind of sounds a lot like communism, but then not because it's for yourself, but the idea, why doesn't the left love this?
If you consistently HR culture...
HR culture is, yes, it's a parasitic Brit. There is a parasitic class in most corporations. I'm disgusted by it. It needs to go. And sad to say, with all these work from home people losing their jobs, I think AI is going to destroy that, not necessarily, stripping regulation. Says, oh, what is white culture? They have no culture. It's like, no, it's a culture that everybody's demanding that they get to go to.
Restore Britain will never allow that to be erased.
Yes.
We will celebrate our Christian heritage and the identity that built and shaped this country. Responsibility, restraint, forgiveness, duty, and fairness. In short, a high-trust society.
High-trust society.
That will mean defending our culture. That will mean resisting the relentless creep of radical Islam. That will mean banning the burqa, outlawing Sharia law, blocking cousin marriages, and...
How is it such a problem over there that he needs to campaign on blocking incest? Because I think I saw someone, maybe it was Asmongold talking about it, or just maybe it was on Twitter, that they actually had to bring in nurses to handle the influx of incest children because they had their own health issues. The fact that he needs to campaign on this makes me think they have a much larger issue than we were ever aware of.
Reimposing our Christian-based rule of law. A Restore Britain government would legislate to ensure that no halal or kosher slaughter on British soil. This is Britain, and we will do things our way. This political party now exists for one reason: to restore Britain. To make it a better...
Yeah, Restore Britain is basically a polite way of saying make Britain great again, but it's like all the British values, which is like a polite, more classy version of America. That's why we think of their accent being a polite, more classy version of English. But yeah, I'm all for all of this.
Safer and more prosperous place for British men and women.
And it's the thing, it's nationalism. Everybody say, oh, it's nationalism, how spooky, evil, and scary for American nationalists or British nationalists, but it's like, but they're set on us importing millions of Mexican nationalists, Venezuelan nationalists, Haitian nationalists, African nationalists, like all these people that are abundantly proud of whatever country they came from and they get superior to American culture, but not being able to say, well, the culture you're demanding to go to, that's also something we're proud of. Very, very hypocritical.
Raise their families. It will be difficult, and it will be painful.
It will be painful. It will look bad when they have their version of ICE deporting people, because it's going to look as bad as it does over here. It'll be painful, but sometimes necessary.
But I assure you, it is possible. I hope you will consider joining me on this journey and becoming a member of our party. It is our country. It is now our collective responsibility to act. Together, we will restore Britain. Thank you.
I'm on board. I mean, obviously I can't vote over there, but but yeah, that was a good message. It's very sad that he essentially is apologizing for what he's saying every step of the way, because he knows how unpopular this is going to be. Kind of scary that's where they are right now, but I mean, I'm digging it. Painfully, but not for UK citizens. I mean, just like how it is to have strong borders in America, the same borders we're seeing in all the other countries, it looks bad in the media. You're gonna get slammed for it. You're gonna be called racist for it. Me, as a obviously Asian person, I'm getting slammed for it constantly. But just the idea that that common sense is hard to implement in today's world. Very sad. It's a great campaign video. Well, it's sad because you say we should have leadership to make Britain a world power again. They became weakness if they keep going. I think, what was it, France kept on saying they want to up their nuclear arsenal, and I'm like, okay. I think J.D. Vance said the UK will become the first Muslim, nuclear-powered, or nuclear-armed Muslim superpower, and I'm like, well, that could possibly be France too, because somebody else said in chat they officially had more foreign births than domestic births, as in like the foreigners, the first generation immigrants are now out birthing the indigenous people. I don't know, like just the British citizens that have been there forever. Same thing that's happening in America. I think over in Ireland they said the most popular name, boy's name, in like every city over there is Mohammed, and it isn't just like because you have Mohammed, it's also Mohammed, like there's different spelling of it, all pronounced the same, but just like the top 10 names, you had like Connor, you had Michael, and everything else was Mohammed. And it was like, yeah, it's very eye-opening to know how much they have taken over. Yeah, you say Pakistan has nukes, but are they considered a superpower? Yeah, we have more in common with Saudi Arabia than France at this point, possibly. It is a very scary stat, yeah. Ireland isn't far behind. I would say conceivably Ireland is worse, and it was sad because there is a YouTuber, I don't want to name him because it's like obviously different background than me. He's entitled to his opinion, but it was insane to me that this guy's in Ireland doing live streams, knowing what's happening over there, and I think he's even referenced his wife or partner or whatever he was saying being unsafe, and then for a random, unrelated video, he was just started off saying F ICE, F everything they're doing. I'm like, one, you're not in America. But two, you guys have similar issues that if not worse. You know about the violence that's occurring in your community, and you are somehow against America enforcing their border laws. Again, low information people saying low information things, and again, I don't get my political advice from YouTubers that talk about something unrelated. It was just sad that I go to certain people and say, hey, you talk about video games, you talk about fashion, you talk about watches, you talk about what else is in my feed? But just whatever I like to watch on YouTube, and then they're out there giving me liberal propaganda from the safety of their country and how rich they are. Yeah, video games, war, lots of background music. Oh, basketball. Yeah, no, it's kind of sad, like snitching on myself, but it's background music. I just watched Cappy Army. Watches. Getting better skin. What? I never clicked that before. Background music. I like this stuff walking around in 4K. Background music. NBA. Background music. I mean, there's really only one thing I do on in the background. Yeah, Yellowstone. That song's dope. From S. Carey. YouTube trying to tell me something? I mean, I'm sorry. I may be Korean, but I'm not that type of Korean. Like, the pretty, like, vitamin C. What does this guy have? EMS? Is that the electric thing? The mask, the red light therapy? I'm not there. You don't see Dodger Ball? Because honestly, I have like a different account on my cell phone. That's why I watch all my stuff. Yeah, lo-fi stuff. Yeah, Cappy Army's pretty cool. I didn't realize that he had been bought out or sold his account like the other one. Another one. I was wondering why I haven't seen it. The natural stress needs more K-pop. Honestly, I just kept on having too much K-pop popping up in my feed, and the one thing that was bothering me, it was like, I'll listen to K. Here it is, right there, right? It is. This is, yeah, Blink-182, Resident Evil. This is pretty cool. This is the music that's in Disneyland. But then Korean pop. Listen to a lot of Korean pop more than an adult male should. But I was getting nonstop, like, face cams of their performances, and like that's just what they want to show you in your feed. And I'm like, yeah, when you're letting it autoplay, it's pretty cool, but it's like, why do I want a bit zoomed in stuff of people? It was very bizarre on what Korean pop fans are probably just as bad as like crazy liberals on the internet. Show the second YouTube profile if I have it. I have it on my phone. Let's see. Oh wait, close this. Close player. So it's Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson has my name right there. Tucker Carlson has me, the decap decoy, has K-pop, Mayday. If you're into baseball, that guy used to be a pitcher. I forget what his name is. Trevor Mayfield, he does really good content. Me again, rap. It's a Gundam, football. I mean, oh yeah, Sicario. I don't know how we've been talking about cartel stuff so much recently. It's been a lot of cartel things, a lot of Sicario on my feed right now. Yeah, you watch one Blackpink video and your feed is cooked. I gotta be honest, this is getting me not canceled, but that group Twice. It's like essentially Britney Spears pop music for Koreans. Like that's the type of music. But Twice B-side. Like not their singles, but their stuff that they have like deep on the deep side of their vinyls. They got some pretty cool bangers, I feel like. But then once you start to watch Twice, it becomes not just like here's their music video or here's their lyric video. It's like here's just a compilation of a whole bunch of images of them. And I'm like, what do Twice fans? Yeah, K-pop stans are bizarre. And I am a K-pop fan. Said Gundam's okay, way too much Pokimane. I don't care about Twitch drama. I mean, he is a drama content creator, and I've actually heard from other accounts that, or like YouTubers saying, I need to lean more into online drama. But I'm like, I'm not the oldest person, but I am too old to just cover drama nonstop. Like if I look at my account, I don't know, it's the latest. I covered Hassan because him covering China, that's political. I covered This Is All That, crime, him getting arrested in China. I covered the Amiru story arc because she was attacked. I cover crime, I cover politics, and then her and her run-in with Twitch, and then also her and her snitching out everybody else around her, like her ex and everything. This is when I thought, I was like, you know what? This is just Twitch drama. Amiru's got a good story arc. She's very closely tied with Asmon Gold and Tectone, so I kind of feel like after I covered her, I didn't even know, a long time ago, her and her buddies were attacked over in Santa Monica. I used to hang out at the Santa Monica Pier, that exact spot, like nearly every week I was there. So it was something that was like close to me, but I just decided, okay, enough internet drama. Like, yeah, it was me covering Johnny Somali, but I needed to just break away from that. Like, here it is, like, the Disney movie stuff and me with my, what is it? Me with the broccoli cut. I need to bring it back, guys. Where is it? Decoy Crime History Channel. Like, I mean, why is this not working? Why did Disney take... Where is it? Need to bring the haircut back, guys, because as you can tell, we're balding. There's people that have it worse. Why is this not working? What the heck? Why am I in 5p when... when I'm streaming currently. There it is. Yeah, I need to bring back the cut. Do I bring... Look at this nerd. No broccoli cut? I mean, this is official branding, right? You saw a headline that Johnny was just sentenced to 3 years prison. I know that he was referenced to it, but... I mean, referred to it, but I didn't know if he actually got convicted of it. But I mean, yes. You gotta lean into the multiracial origin story that we were just kind of glazing over. Let it grow. I mean, yeah, my hair is pretty long right now. It's just harder to manage when you get old. When you not get older. When you when it's longer and you're a lazy. You're very lazy like I am. Your Pacquiao phase? Did he have that? I just know Pacquiao had like the little mini bangs, and it's like he's kind of like this weird like pop star, but also this very small like boxer guy. It's kind of weird. But again, we'll never talk trash about Pacquiao because even though he's like 50 something, I'm certain he could destroy me. Yeah, got a very, very red beard. It is what it is. Actually, no, let's look real quick. Did Johnny Somali actually getting sentenced? Wow, this is just me. What the heck? Yeah, he got recommended 3 years labor. But a lot of this stuff is old. Let me see latest. Yeah, South Korea has a 99% conviction rate, but I don't think he's actually been sentenced. So we'll see. I don't think Donald Trump is stepping in there to free him, so I think he's actually going down. Gotta grow it long enough to pull back and pull off the Sub-Zero look. I mean, at one point in time, I did have it. Let's see the oldest. Do we even see my, from 4 years ago? Nothing I normally cover. Oh, it's like super loud. But I mean, I'm like thigh deep in water. This is like, this is Sub-Zero status. But I mean, I don't think I could ever commit to going through that weird phase of having your hair is all weird. But yeah, no, I guess you can't even tell. It's so dark in this room. I had no like professional lighting. I think at this point in time, when I had my laptop on screen, I had like one very, very harsh light I got from Amazon. And it just was not good. Very shiny forehead. But it is what it is. A Tekashi hairdo? I've heard about this guy. I feel like all the girls have a crush on that guy, right? Not Tekashi 6ix9ine, but isn't there like a Tekashi, like, Asian singer? No, that's Tekashi. That's all Tekashi 6ix9ine, that weird guy. The 6ix9ine hair. So we are talking about Tekashi 6ix9ine. No, not that. Not that. With the rainbow cut? Who's the Asian guy that's like, he's like a singer and all the girls like him? Yeah, because this is the, I thought Tekashi Asian singer, and this is what I got. This is not an Asian man. I don't even think he's classified as a singer. I don't know that rats can sing, but yeah. Johnny Somali is a national treasure. That's why they're keeping him. I somehow doubt that. Not Joji. He's like a very Asian guy. Joji's, I feel like he's like Tim Pool level of Asian. Like Asian, but not much. I don't think he's EDM either. No, not like the K-pop guys. Like it was legitimately like, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure we got time for like just one more, because we got the ICE protesters, potential sleeper cells. I think someone wanted to see the sleeper cell video, and then California issues they got going on. Oh yeah, Johnny Somali is going to get put on the offender list. 100% he is. 100%. Because the nature of his crimes, they take the deepfake stuffs very seriously. And I think they're going to throw the book at him. He is going to be put in a labor camp. And I don't think he's going to be put like with like labor camps where he's going to be picking cabbages. I think he's going to be in the labor camp of like smashing rocks and shit. Yeah, Joji's Filthy Frank, yeah. He's a YouTuber that turned into a singer. I think at some point in time, I'll probably go through my K-pop arc, right? Like, we just did online commentary on crime, politics, and culture. Of course I'm going to become an R&B singer later on. 2 mass incidents, one in Ohio, another in Texas. I was not aware. License plates don't print themselves. Exactly. I think he's going to be there. Yeah, I'm pretty much on all the platforms right now, so yeah. You like to clean toilets? I mean, that's the sad part, is I think that you don't want them to find out so hard, but I think some manual labor, some tough reality that other countries aren't your playground to embarrass the natives to make your nuisance content. That's not reality. He is going to be a good example for the rest of the internet. Because remember that guy, Vitali? He was in that Philippine prison for a long time. They deported him, and he went right back to nuisance content. Like, I think he's exposing people, which is good. But honestly, I wonder how long it is until he goes from that content that even I've covered, and I was like, oh, this guy's doing a good thing a long time ago. But I wonder how long until he loops back into nuisance content, which is kind of sad. I mean, Vitali got off pretty easy, all things considered. Everybody thought since he was like, he couldn't come back to America, he was being sent to Russia, they were going to send him to the front lines of Ukraine. That did not happen. He came to America and he's up to the same nonsense now. And he's back now. They should film his labor for content. Honestly, that would be hilarious. If Korea was ruthless country, I think they're too uptight for this, but they should live stream his hard labor, and you can get super chats. Like, you can give super chats for certain things or whatever. They'd make a whole lot of money. Because one thing I've heard, and who knows if it will have gone from the collective hive mind that is America, I had heard, should his return to America be in the near future, people would remember what he did. Because the things is like him saying, oh, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, or whatever on the subway. It's like, yeah, it's offensive, and that's why he got punched a lot. But the whole comfort woman thing of him dancing on it and kissing it is so deeply offensive. And not even as a prude, saying so deeply offensive. There were a lot of Koreans that were going to do like what that UDT Navy SEAL did. Dalgun. Dalgun was just on site. Saw him, said, Johnny Somali, you're him. Did something to him. Got him in a lot of legal trouble. Like, I don't know if he's regretting it, but it's like, yeah, he got in a lot of legal trouble. I would be concerned for Johnny coming to America knowing that people were very upset about that. Giving him super chats for cigarettes, I mean, it is what it is. Yeah. GoPro of him on the front line. I mean, I think it's not going to end well for him. I think I saw a video, it might not be recent, but it was a video since he had been going through the legal process saying, since I'm American, they're going to slap me on the wrist. They've kept me here. That can't work, and I've been suffering. That'll be enough, and I'll get deported. That's what they're going to do. It's like, no, I think that some politician is going to make their career off of giving you heavy labor for the deepfake stuff, because it's pretty much the highest profile deepfake case they have in Korea right now, and he is going to feel the full brunt of their law, I think. I am going to pull through this to make sure there's no violence on. Okay, so the fact that there may be sleeper... Actually, you know what? No, let me turn off the music first, because that's not right. But the fact that there may be sleeper cells in America is kind of scary, especially since the situation that happened over in Austin, Texas. Won't play the full video, but they think, actually probably know, this was terror-related.
Yeah, has this impacted any plans, security plans for South by Southwest?
It has not. You know, we have a press conference, I believe, next Thursday for our spring festival season. And certainly as we look at Austin and what makes Austin so great are those events. We are a major city police department, and we go in best practices. I feel confident that the resources we have in play, South by Southwest, will continue on, and it will be a safe festival season.
Do we know how the suspects acquired these guns and whether they were acquired legally?
The guns were required legally. I believe in 2017 out of San Antonio they were purchased.
Can you tell us more about the victims? I think you said Savitha, Sean, and Ryder Harrison.
He was here for like
Harrington.
20 years.
Yes.
He was here for 20 years. He was naturalized. They said he got married around that time, and then he got divorced, which makes me kind of feel like, was that possibly like a 90-day fiance type situation where comes over here, committing a bunch of crimes, petty if they may be, but just still committing crimes when he's here, wants to become a U.S. citizen, marries some random person, and then divorces them shortly after.
Can you tell us more? Are they UT students? I think Ryder was a Texas Tech student.
I don't know as far as what school they went to. That is certainly something that we can look into. But they were young. I believe Ryder was maybe 22 and Savitha 24 or 20 respectively.
Just going out for a drink.
Are you able to share any details about the warrants that were executed yesterday in Del Valle and in Pflugerville?
So anytime that you're doing an investigation like this, it's going to lead to search warrants. And so those warrants were based off information of where this person lived, addresses where he congregated, and evidence was taken from that.
There's a video circulating on social media of an autonomous vehicle blocking emergency services near the scene on Sunday. Can you guys talk about this?
You said they were worried about sleeper cells is why the feds wanted to use Anthropic for surveillance. They said no, the feds dropped them for OpenAI. The crazy part is they didn't like the wokeness from Anthropic, but then they still used it. They said, we're dropping you for OpenAI, and then they turned around and still used it for the attacks in Iran. Obviously, it was probably too late to switch over, but it's funny how it's, what are you going to do about it type stuff.
Situation, what you encountered, and how you as you were accessing the scene and transporting victims.
Yeah, it's a conscious choice to wear that sweater and go on the rampage. I can't show the picture because there's a lot of blood on it, but he was wearing the Islamic regime's version of the Iranian flag underneath it.
That's something, I don't know if, Rob, if you wanted to address it.
So Rob Lukritz, Chief of Austin Travis County EMS. EMS, as well as our fellow public safety partners, work very closely with the autonomous vehicle vendors that operate here in the city of Austin. We had more than 20 assets, resources that responded to this event. As was said at an earlier press conference, we were on scene within 57 seconds. And so in the grand scheme of the impact on the overall incident, we don't believe it had any impact on patient outcomes.
They took him out. He was not taken
I will
alive.
say that we're already in touch with Waymo and the autonomous vehicles to give them our concerns and work with them in order to try to address this moving forward.
If you guys could raise your hands, please, we'll go here, then Jamal.
And for the chief and
Did you guys see the Waymo that was blocking them in?
What more you've learned about possible motive, and I think it was reported that the suspect had a shirt underneath the sweatshirt that showed an Iranian flag. Is there a direct connection to the war in Iran with the shooting here?
So I think for our purposes, as we're, looking at the totality of this, and certainly as a police chief, and we're coming in and we're getting this information, and we see those indicators, we see the second shirt with the Iran and the picture of the Shah on that T-shirt as well. We're thinking about events and what's occurring in the country as well. And so, in addition to the fact that this was a huge, complex scene, we're calling in those federal partners to take a look at that as well. And so, again, the motives, all of those things, that's what this investigation is about right now.
I
don't mind.
Oh, sure. Go ahead. Go right ahead.
Thank you. So I'll add on that, but first I just want to also express our regard.
Exactly. You said, quick, someone asked about the terror. Deflect, deflect, deflect. Yeah, they didn't want to talk about it, even though we have our Secretary of War. Not our Secretary of Defense, but our Secretary of War saying, hey, we are concerned about sleeper cells in America. Again, the police chief has to dance around it because in Austin, I imagine they were appointed by a Democrat mayor. I actually can't confirm it, but I imagine it is a Democrat-run city. The idea that they don't want to make that statement. They don't want to start saying, we got to climb up the border. We got to let ICE agents here to start to deport everybody that may be a sleeper agent. They don't want to go down that path. It's kind of sad because they'd rather sacrifice your safety than their narrative.
Concerns about Iranian sleeper cells and kind of what is the Trump administration Concerns about Iranian sleeper cells and kind of what has the Trump administration been doing to kind of monitor these
Well,
threats?
across the interagency, in full coordination, of course, we're paying attention to any potentialities there. This is a former regime, a regime that seeks to export that ideology and try to sow terror. We're ready for that. We've seen these types of folks before, and the American people can rest assured that we're vigilant on that.
Right Secretary, thank you. Kind of a follow up on that last question. There was just this, what appears to be a terrorist attack in Austin yesterday. How does that change the operation at all? What effect does that have? And
It doesn't change the operation at all, and I know the authorities are executing exactly the way they should.
Concerns about Iranian sleeper cells.
Oh, so they have the concerns. I thought the video also included when they said, do you guys have soldiers actually on the ground in Iran? And he's like, why would I tell you that? You are the enemy. I'm not going to tell you what our operational strategy is right now. I like that, and he's doing a really good job about it. But it's crazy how it's not only just, hey, we're ready for a possible sleeper cell, but there's already an influx or a spike of these incidents. Like you see this over here. What is it? I guess it doesn't tell you what state it is until they go here.
With Homeland Security to avoid deportation, authorities have arrested a so-called chaplain who they say was selling counterfeit badges and
again, I'm sure the left will freak out. Oh, they arrested him. He's a chaplain. I forgot who the other guy was. He had a Middle Eastern sounding name. They're like, they deported him. He's a children's chaplain. It's like, yeah, he hadn't been that for a long time. And also he was on behalf of some pretty extreme beliefs. Again, they're just using it as almost a shield from any and all criticism.
Shirts with the Department of Homeland Security logo.
Oh my God. Chaplain Emergency.
This promotional video appears on the Instagram page for the Chaplain Emergency Management Agency, or CEMA. The organization reportedly trains citizens to become chaplains so they can provide religious support during emergencies. CEMA's website claims it's an agency of the United States of America, but federal investigators say that's simply not true. According to authorities, the chaplain organization is illegally using the official seal of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. This Instagram video shows Mario Cesar dos Santos, who's now under arrest and facing deportation.
Is this in English?
Federal prosecutors say dos Santos...
Wait, was he speaking in English?
Security. This Instagram video shows...
Why'd they cut it off so fast? I want to know if he was speaking English or not.
Mario Cesar dos Santos, who's now under arrest and facing deportation. Federal prosecutors say dos Santos held chaplain training seminars like this one throughout Central Florida, predominantly for Brazilian immigrants and foreign nationals. After paying $400 to $450 for the chaplaincy certification, investigators say attendees were given these official-looking ID.
Oh, they gave him legit counterfeit badges. Yeah, this guy's going away for a long time.
ID cards with DHS and FEMA logos. Attendees could also purchase gold badges, polo shirts, and bumper stickers with counterfeit seals. This Instagram video shows the merchandise table at an Orlando training seminar.
It's all legit looking.
Allegedly told attendees the merch would give them immunity from immigration enforcement and keep them safe from deportation. A CEMA volunteer reportedly told an undercover investigator her CEMA badge helped her get through an airport security with no issues, and that having her...
Okay. We're having issues where not only are they making these fake DHS badges, but also our TSA agents don't even know what a real badge looks like. We have issues. What if they, like, this is just a person that didn't want to get deported, but what if this was actually a terror cell getting this badge, and they were able to get through airport security? They got to go to prison.
CEMA shirt inside her suitcase made a difference when airport security scanned her luggage with an X-ray. Investigators say dos Santos has previously lied about being a Harvard graduate with a medical degree. He's currently being held in federal custody. Dos Santos was in the United States on a visa, according to the feds, but that visa has expired. There's no indication any of his chaplain trainees will face criminal charges. Mike DeForest, News 6.
I kind of agree with that. Like, if you got defrauded, it's not really your fault. But then again, if you're an illegal that was just trying to evade deportation, doesn't make you immune from deportation. But this is crazy because all the way over in Van Nuys, which is just a part of the Los Angeles and the Valley area, they said 2 Iranian nationals are arrested in Van Nuys after they executed a search warrant finding a human smuggling hub. So yeah, this, again, not necessarily sleeper cells, but we have a major issue in these sanctuary cities.
Breaking news. Brand new information on an alleged human smuggling hub in Van Nuys.
Air 7 was over the home just a few hours ago, and this was seen near Woodley in Satakoy. Our Mark Cotarobas is live in the newsroom with details. Mark.
Yeah, David and Giovanna, Customs and Border Protection.
And I'll tell you right now, the whole human smuggling thing, Van Nuys, this is where the 405 is. On a previous live stream, I talked about a buddy of mine that got an apartment that he wasn't from the area. I think he was, I just know him from LA, but I think he was originally from Washington or possibly Portland, somewhere very liberal up north. Moved off of Van Nuys and wasn't aware of when he went there during the daytime. Checked out the apartment, thought it was okay. It was off Sepulveda, a bad neighborhood, but also found out, hey, at night, is my street just overrun with hookers? Because it looks like there's streetwalkers everywhere. They're not regular people. Like, he thought maybe they were going to a party, but no, they're just hanging out all the time. I'm like, yeah, it's probably part of this human smuggling situation they got over there. Yeah, a lot of suffering, but then again, ICE are the bad guys.
Live in the newsroom with details. Mark.
Yeah, David and Giovanna, Customs and Border Protection providing us new information. Within the past 90 minutes or so, the agency also posted this new video of an arrest. CBP says that they executed a federal search warrant today targeting a human smuggling hub
tied to
national
protesting
security threats. 2 people were arrested. 7 other Iranian nationals were taken into custody earlier this week at the same address. Some of those people were on the FBI terror watch list, we've learned. CBP says the smuggling network has trafficked people from adversarial regimes, including Iran, posing direct risk to U.S. national security.
So basically, the sleeper cells we're so concerned about were being imported directly to Los Angeles. Seems like a big concern, but I don't think Mayor Karen Basura is saying anything about this.
Now, this all comes less than a week after the U.S. bombed Iran's nuclear sites. There was some concern Iran would look to retaliate.
Yeah, there's major concerns with that right now, and yet it doesn't seem to be on their mind. Now, this one isn't from America, and there's really no evidence of it, but I mean, it's something that could show the escalation of things.
یه سری تروریست حمله کردن به باشگاه.
He's in Canada. He is a Iranian, Persian, with the Persian flag in his window. They fired rounds into his store. Oh, I thought this was in English. It's not. But you can very, very clearly see bullet rounds went through his store. If Canada has sleeper cells, I imagine we have it as well. But the craziest part about this is, leave it to the liberal media in North Carolina to say, what was that on? I'll pull it up right now. But the meme of who's most impacted by these attacks.
Here among Muslims here in Asheville is that there'll be a Muslim sentiment for Muslims who have no connection to Iran. Asheville's Islamic
most of them
Center
don't.
has drawn hundreds of Muslims to pray together and existed 35 years. But one member who spoke on the condition we not use their name said, we're concerned about potential anti-Muslim sentiment. Asheville needs to know being Muslim, a brown citizen, isn't safe. The time has come where we unfortunately don't feel safe, even more so than after 9/11.
And here's the thing is, there are racists. When COVID was happening, people had anti-Asian sentiments. They called me Chinese. I remember being in LA outside. I was working security at some store, and there was a long line to get in. And you had straight up, I'll just say, Middle Eastern people shouting at me because I was bringing in the Chinese flu. I needed to go away or whatever. Like, they were shouting at me, but it was in front of a large line of people trying to get into a store in LA of different races, of allegedly the most liberal city in America. Just letting these people berate me and say racist things to my face. Things happen. People are going to do bad things. I don't demand there's a new change in laws to make certain that I don't face racism, because that's just what's in the world. I'm not trying to say it's permissible, but I'm just saying it's reality. Accept it and grow thick skin and just, like you guys are saying, keep your head on a swivel. It is what it is. I don't need to make the world child-proof for my fragile ego. The sad part is, yes, there's going to be issues over there, but it's bizarre on, what was it? I think it was Mamdani's, I forgot what position it is, but somebody that's attached to him is trying to hire people to put a positive face on their religion. Yes, it's an issue, but Why is this the highlight? Why is this the thing that these news outlets have to highlight when they'll highlight this and ignore the fact that the person that committed the terror attack in Austin had a religious basis to his attack on innocents?
Notice is that when our country gets embroiled in a war in the Middle East in a Muslim majority country, that tends to result in a rise in anti-Muslim hate or anti-Muslim sentiment here at home.
I don't think this is a lie.
Like other
I think this is
cities
true.
saw anti-war protesters this weekend.
The anti-war protesters are from the left.
In Iran, however, Muslim citizens celebrated the U.S.-Israel killing of Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei. Still, the deputy director of the Council on American Islamic Relations said there are Muslims who oppose the attack.
I think you will see North Carolina Muslims speaking up against this unjust, illegal war. And
Here you go. That gets rid of most of your credibility. Unjust illegal war. The Iranians love it. And somehow you are standing for what is only 30% of their population of a oppressive dictator. And you're saying the biggest concern we have is for the innocents over here. Again, there are going to be innocent victims of hateful things. I've experienced it. It's there. But also, how is the news network saying, hey, we're going to go ahead and ignore when it's very obviously this thing, but then try to make it a bigger issue to highlight who the real victim is, and it's us. I don't like everything about that at all. I don't know who Sam Fisher is. I think a lot of people have been talking about. Is that the not Sleeping Dogs? It's a different video game. Ghost Recon game? I don't know. Yeah. No wonder Asheville's such a trash fire. I mean, a lot of these liberal cities are just destroying themselves in the name of wokeness. Yeah, the Tom Clancy, the Splinter Cell. There it is. Yeah. Yeah, Splinter Cell. Yeah. Never forget 2019 COVID. Exactly when I saw the true colors of the left on how it was. It wasn't MAGA conservatives yelling and shouting at me. I still remember this is a red pill moment for me. I think it's right before I did this channel. Walking across the street by my office and seeing a large group of people starting to park, and I'm like, wait, we've never been this busy. What's going on? A lot of people all walking over. There were people wearing yarmulkes, and there was lots of people with MAGA hats, and I was like, what? They're very bizarre, like lots of whites with MAGA hats, and then also lots of Jewish people, like the guys and the girls, and they're all walking to one spot. So then I just kind of followed them. I'm like, hey, what's going on here? And they were protesting. I forgot which one it was. It was possibly Ilhan Omar. I forgot who it was, but it was some sort of Democrat politician was going to this specific hotel to make a speech or something. And you had all these MAGA conservatives and you had all these Jewish people coming together to protest that hotel for hosting that person. There was a counter-protest near the hotel of very angry, dangerous-looking people shouting obscenities at this group, but the MAGA side was very open. I'm like, I don't know what this is. They're like, oh, do you want a hat? They're also serving like hot dogs off a cart. Like, it was a very, very positive America flag-waving group against a very, very non-American, angrily aggressive group counter-protesting these people. And I was like, hey, the TV was telling me these MAGA guys would hate me for being Asian, but they almost greeted me with open arms saying, hey, would you like to stand with this movement? Very, very bizarre on how reality is different. I did not get a hot dog. I was just kind of like, I was there to observe. I wasn't there to end up on KCAL News, part of this movement. Again, it was before I was very political, not even very political now, but it was before I knew about anything, and I didn't want to be seen on TV as like an activist when I knew nothing about nothing. What do I mean by hot dog? I mean actual hot dog. Like, they were serving food. They had sodas. They had chairs. They had hats. They had giant flags. Like, it was like very positive. It was almost like a county fair type vibe versus another side on behalf of a Democrat politician shouting obscenities, saying they were going to do stuff, and they had a very, very small police detachment there to kind of separate the groups. Yeah. Yeah, you have a coworker that's black and he says MAGA hates black people. that's the only way they can control their party. If they think that the other side is so racist that you can never possibly fathom going to their side, that's how they own you. So let's go ahead and get to some super chats right now. I covered all these before, but then Rapscallion with the $20 super chat. Really appreciate that. JJK saying, this isn't what a third world war would look like. The first battle of Fallujah, where we blanketed the skies, was a lot worse than this. The bombing of Berlin, the firebombing of Tokyo, that was World War trying to crush morale. Okay, appreciate that. Thank you for the yen of a Shiba Inu super chat. Oh, that was a second. Wait, you super chatted this currency and then that currency. That's kind of funny, but appreciate it. Guruman again saying they call Takashi racist, but Africans now taking over some prefectures in Japan. One viral for trying to steal a car when he was caught. He called the owner racist and yells louder than the owner. Yeah, I think I saw that exact video. There is the same thing that's happening in Reform Britain. You're starting to see a very, very nationalist Japan coming out right now. I think Korea might be cooked. Japan might be able to save itself. JJK says there's no way to support that cult ideology when a prophet had a wife. Yeah, a young one. I mean, it's something that they openly talk about it, but they get offended when the other side brings it up. Very bizarre. Local Corona says he could have had dual citizenship that I've heard about where he was born here, but rise in China. Just saying, I think you're talking about that guy that allegedly had business ties to China, but also had the keep the U.S. out of Korea sweater. I believe that. JJK says, did these leftists not get the memo that the people of Iran were descendants of Solomon the Great? The Zoroastrians long before Tuscan raiders invaded? I don't know about that. I just know that I'm learning now that a lot of people that are from Iran identify as Persians, not Muslims. So, there's that. JJK says, Democrats in 1865, don't touch our slaves. Democrats in 2026, don't touch our slaves. I would say don't touch our serfs, because these people are all getting compensated, but they definitely see them as underlings. Oh, they work in the fields. They work as housekeepers. They are people that are here to bolster our economy by doing the jobs we don't want to do because it's too underpaid, not understanding that's how capitalism works when you introduce somebody that is your low education labor force. It's sad. The Lithanide says, Restore Britain was only created in February and already has 10% support in polls. So reference, Labour, the ruling party right now, is polling at 15%. Yeah, I think the media is going to come after the Restore Britain party, but it's going to be like the MAGA party. Media says it's small. In reality, it's huge. Neon Phoenix says, Decoy would look good with a BBL. Is that like the Brazilian butt lift? To my understanding, no plastic surgery for me. I think that I'm just going to age gracefully. I mean, I'm 77 as of a couple months, so I mean, I'm looking pretty good for 77. I don't think I need to do any needle stuff anymore. Gotta support the small new YouTubers. Don't misconstrue things. I'm not saying it to brag, but I've been around for a while. I have the main channel, Decoy. This is just a live stream channel. Yeah, Asians don't raisin. Exactly. Like Jim Carrey, exactly. Jim Carrey, that's a scary revolution. I know Koreans are very, very known for plastic surgery, but I just don't want to be... I just want to age. I just want to age gracefully. I want to look my age. I mean, obviously I don't look my age, but I am what I am. It is what it is. It's gonna do that. Jim Carrey, I mean... But that's Hollywood right now with all the emergence of... What is it? GLP-1, the Ozempic drug. All these people getting very thin. I know some people in real life that are getting very thin, and it's good for them because all the health complications that comes along with it. But honestly, Hollywood's looking scary. Ever since they did that buccal fat thing, the buccal fat thing. I mean, I think I have chubby cheeks. I don't have, like, Koreans are known for kind of having bigger faces unless you're a Korean pop star getting plastic surgery. But It doesn't look right. It never looks right. New complications with taking GLP-1s, exactly. Like, I guess it's not bad to say it, but it's like, I've had an opportunity to do a brand deal with those things, and honestly, I wonder, should we be 10 years from now and they find out, oh, you just spontaneously explode when you've been taking GLP-1? I don't want that on my conscience. It looks weird, exactly. It looks very weird when they have that. Like, I think about, who's an actress that doesn't get a lot of plastic surgery and she's older? who's the Devil Wears Prada girl? I feel like she doesn't have that much plastic surgery, but then when you have these newer, older actresses that have recently kind of gotten wrinkles, they don't look right. Yeah, Anya Taylor-Joy getting that was criminal. Did she get that? I don't even know. I just know that she was like the new It girl. Anya Taylor-Joy. Uncle Fat. Oh yeah, it's an autofill. Ooh. Oh. Yeah, she definitely did. Wow, that is intense. Like, I mean, obviously everybody has the right to do whatever they want with their face, but I think that we've gone past. I think what was that? I like that account, Coves. It's like a YouTube account that talks about like what makes a guy pretty, what makes a girl pretty. Here's how you optimize your haircut for your face shape and all that stuff. They talk about there's a difference between guy pretty and girl pretty. What guys find pretty and what girls find pretty. Girls find, Anya Taylor-Joy with this thing, and then who's that singer? Who's that girl? She's like really, really small. She's a singer. She used to be on the Boy Meets World spinoff, and then she became a popular singer. She has very, very like plain pop music, but she's killing it right now. Now let's see chat. What is it? Not Ariana Grande. No, she was on the Boy Meets World spinoff. She's like a little blonde girl. Not her. Not Topanga. She's a singer right now. She's like the most popular. Sabrina Carpenter. Thank you. Sabrina Carpenter. She is what they say is girl pretty, with like, the big lips and the big eyes and the plastic surgery. Like that's what girls aspire to have. But then your Sydney Sweeney, that's what the aspirational boy pretty is. Like that's what guys are attracted to, just more like regular looking. Like I saw somebody saying, why is like the era of mid-tier Asian girls, why is that popular? Where they're highlighting the Alyssa Liu, the Alyssa Liu, the figure skater. Like she's like trending right now, even though she's liberal. It's like, oh, the guys are fawning over her. And then there was another half Asian girl right before her that got popular. Who was it? I forget, but they were just saying like, why are they into that? It's like, no, it's just guys are into regular, like not necessarily like natural beauty, but just girls that don't have like a very gaunt artificial look. Like they're more attracted to that. And it's like, I think that people just, guy pretty and girl pretty has never been further apart from each other right now. Yeah, he's like, you might like Sydney Sweeney more than Sabrina Carpenter, but I think it is a very, very like, eye of the beholder thing. You're entitled to your opinion, but why is it so different right now? It's crazy. Like, Hollywood plastic is very unattractive. It's very different. Like anybody that's lived in LA has you say Alyssa seems more natural and genuine. It's just like regular people that you could have a conversation with. But it's if you've lived in LA and you've met celebrities that are like on Instagram or like, I guess it's not bad to say, like Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian in person looks nothing like she does in magazines and on television and everything. It is a very built for the camera look. Guys don't like that. I'm sure guys like what she looks like in cameras and magazines, but in person you would be astonished of what it is to interact with them in person. Not gonna say anything mean about it, it's just they're just different. Oh, thank you, Brendan Johnson, for the super huge super chat saying, in World War II, a majority of Japanese were happy that Pearl Harbor happened. Because of this, they went into re-education military camps. You can find it in Louisiana museums. Maybe we need to bring this back. No re-education camps. I don't care if it's good. No re-education camps, because what do they say? You never want to build a system that you later turn over to your enemy. And I think the libs would use this in terrible ways. Actually, I'm curious now. I want to wrap up this live stream, but I do know I'm trying to figure out who was the other Asian character they said, because it was I think it was Kangmin Lee talked about it. They're like, oh, why are they not like these girls? Who was it? Who was the other one? Wow, this guy posts a lot. Or maybe I just saw this a long time ago. Or maybe it wasn't a repost. It was like a reply. But yeah, no, it's crazy how things are different right now. Yeah, I guess I'm not gonna be able to find it. I mean, I usually only live stream for 2 or 3 hours. It kind of looks like everything's down significantly, and I think it's because I said a magic word. Like, people are like, "Oh, why do you self-censor? You're paranoid." If you just start saying a certain place, your reachability is down. And it's not because I was saying anything negative about them. I was saying positive things about them. But if you talk about it, especially if you're a new and emerging channel, they don't want other people to see what you're saying, especially on a live stream, because they don't know what you're going to do. They don't know if you're going to be Sneeko or you're going to be Decoy. They're so afraid of Nick F that they will just take my stream down because they don't know what I'm going to say next. Yeah, you guys know about that. I really wanted to know who the other person was, but I maybe it wasn't even that guy came in that said it. It was somebody else. I'm confusing all these accounts with each other. It is what it is. But now I'm seeing tweets about how crypto fell off the like, what is it? When the attack happened, they just like crypto blew up. What is Bitcoin at right now? Search is so fucking broken right now. And that's all just grok. God damn it. Whatever. All right, so anything else? It's 67K, 68K. Oh my god, that's where it's at. I remember it was at like 150. Not around 150, like 120, right? Wasn't it there? I mean, crypto is, I don't know, don't take advice from me. Maybe it's a good time to buy in, or maybe it's the end. Who knows? But yeah, thanks for hanging out as long as you have. I think we're done. We should have had the music back on. We got to put it back on when we just kind of chat. Has better vibes. But yeah, it was at 120K, and now it's at 69 or 67. So almost half. That's crazy. I got a buddy. Oh yeah, light skinned Decoy that comes on this channel. He I know he's hurting. So, see you guys next time. Thanks for hanging out as long as you have. We will probably live stream later on in the week. We might host it on Decoy instead of at Decaf just to see how that goes on. But then it'll be on same Twitch, Kick, Rumble, all other stuff too. So, thanks for hanging out as long as you have. But I'll see you guys later on this week.